think that they've just been the best team all year. That's probably the only reason I'm picking them. I'm expecting the Saints to put up a real fight, and we have a cracker game here today.
I think it's going to be a low-scoring game now after this rain, especially the first half or so.
It suits Myrtleford more, doesn't it?
It certainly does. So, I'm not changing my tip. I'm going to stick with the Rovers because of the rain we've had in the last 10 minutes. But I think the Rovers by about 3 goals. Bobby?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I'm leaning towards... Yeah, I'm still sitting on the fence here at the moment, and I'm just trying to think that maybe Myrtleford now because the little bit of rain and that they play well with the rain up at home. But yeah, it's a tight one. I think Myrtleford in a tight one.
Alrighty, plenty on the line here in round 17 here on Edge FM. The Rovers up against the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. First term underway for A-grade oils and batteries, and the clearance is going to go the way of the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. Here's East coming in off the square, hacks it to half forward. Big Riley Smith had to bend down. Charlie Ledger looks like he's got that match up, and here come the Rovers across half back. Parnell takes a bounce, as if the rain isn't even falling here at the WJ Finlay. Hack kick finds Philo on the wing, and he's going to chip it out short to Alex McCarthy. How about Parnell's bounce in the wet? The kick was turned over from McCarthy. Curtis playing a little bit of soccer off the ground. The Rovers win it back. Stone, careful kick to half forward. Wilson was knocked off the ball from Beatty. Murray was clean. Right foot, swings it inside forward 50. Bounces over the head of Kai Augusta. Myrtleford Alpine Saints defence working hard here. Grab without the footy was Munro. Good bump there from Brady Sharp, and Munro just hacks it out of defence. 50-50 ball out on the half forward flank here for the Rovers. Bren dives on the footy. Ash Broughton says, give it to me.
Just an early matchup. Kai Augusta's actually gone to Nathan Cooper in the Wang Rovers forward 50. So that's just the one that's caught us a little bit off guard there.
Because Kai Augusta is a big, big boy. Been playing forward a lot, moved to half-back in the last few weeks. Munro, hack kick down the wing. Calagero playing in the front half of the ground. Looks like Nolan's got that match up, and Calagero's little soccer kick goes out of bounds for a throw-in on the far side. We have played 1.5 minutes first term for Maccas, A-grade oils and batteries.
At the other end, Joel Smith's got the job on Brody Riccardi. He's been in white-hot form the last couple of weeks, so he's going to have his hands full nice and early. Who's
got the job on Lockie Murphy-Dale, Bobby J? Can you see?
I'll give me a couple of seconds and I'll track that one down.
Looks like Kieran Parnell's got that match up just at the moment as Del Bosco.
Yes, right, Kieran Parnell
hacks it out of the stoppage. It bounces through the rain. There is Murphy-Dale on cue. Good tackle from Xavier Allison. Pinned the arm and caught him holding the ball, and a free kick to the Rovers. Right half back. Rain still coming down here at the WJ Finlay Oval. Allison, beautiful kick, opens up the middle of the ground, finds Tom Boyd who's playing forward. The switch is on from the Rovers. He switches it to the broadcast side. McCarthy marks. Careful kick to the hard-running Dylan Wilson. In fact, it's O'Brien, the former Carlton top 10 pick. Good work there from Pethbridge just to hold him off the football. Capillari keeps the footy in, hand passes to space. All this happening in the Rovers attacking 50. Augusta was clean, back to Capillari. Careful kick across goals, looking for Brady Sharp. Rovers attack, pounce. And Ed Damon is happy to see the ball over the boundary line for a throw-in 20 metres around from the Rovers' goal.
With Boyd starting forward for the Rovers, it's looking like they want to stretch the Myrtle defenders with height down in their back 50.
So we've had all the play in the Rovers half of the ground. We'll get the inside 50 number soon from Wenke. Going through there was Thompson, trying to barge his way through the stoppage. Maraka on hands and knees, shovels it to East. Left foot kick out of the stoppage as he was getting tackled. Dribbles to Damon. It's coming straight back inside 50 for the Rovers. Mark almost out there from Kai Augusta, and we'll have another boundary throw in. Still in the pocket for the Wangaratta Rovers.
The Rovers seem to be using it like a dry weather game still, boys. Still taking their kicks on where Myrtleford a little bit slippery and just fumbling the ball at this early stages.
3.5 played for Maccas. Opening term for A-grade oils and batteries. Christie doing the ruckcraft in the forward 50. McCarthy, 40 out, is going to snap towards goal. Augusta just comes with a big soccer off the ground. Spills the way towards Thompson out there. Ripped off the footy. Augusta chases up. Damon kicks into the back of his teammate. Went without it there was Harrington. Christie, snap, high up and under towards goal. Out of bounds on the full. Doesn't even register a score, Bobby J.
As we are talking, Pan, that rain looks like it's blown away and the blue sky's on its way. So a little bit of breeze. It looks like there's a little bit of breeze about that. The ground should dry up relatively quickly, I think. standard of footy's been pretty good so far, even though it's been greasy.
Any early numbers, Winky, 40 winks?
Not really. No one's really blown it out, but 3 inside 50s for the Wang Rovers early, having a lot of the ascendancy early in this first quarter.
So the Saints had to go and fetch their own footy. It's Tom Capillari. He's going to take the free kick for out on the full. Deep in defence. Checks his kick to Del Bosco. Played game number 200 last week and kicked a beauty from 50. Did Mitchy Del Bosco. Was on father duty before the game with his 2 little ones. Goes short to Tom Capillari. All this happening in the Rovers attacking 50. Myrtleford Alpine Saints defence. Comes out to the broadcast side looking for Maraka and McCarthy in a one-on-one. Boundary line wins out.
4 early touches for Tom Capillari. Started this one well for the Myrtleford Saints.
Rotations are heavy today with a little bit of rain about early. They'll get the work done early.
Lockie Miotto just come on the ground for Riley Smith.
Yeah,
Work that out, Bobby J.
Yeah,
the smallest man on the ground for the biggest bastard.
Yeah, maybe the wet weather might just get a bit top heavy for the ruckman. They like to work in high areas.
Have to say a big shout out as well to Mario Antonello and the crew here at the Rovers who looked after us pre-game. Couple of schnitty burgers and some buckets of chips. Winky ate my schnit. Spills
With
away
the gravy.
With the gravy. Lockie Murphy-Dale coming through hard and winning a 50-50 ball as Miotto. Shovels it back to Capillari. He gave it to the stationary Munro. Had to quickly kick in a hurry. Sliding down on hands and knees on centre wing. Almost marking was Nolan. Going in there was Capillari. That's his 640 winks disposal. Snap towards half forward here. Going past the football was Murphy-Dale. Ledger wins it back for the Rovers. Damon runs into trouble and hacks it on the boot. Looking for the boundary line. Gets it right in between the 2 benches and we'll have it thrown back in on the broadcast side.
Just the last couple of stoppages, a mouth-watering matchup through the midfield. Charlie Thompson and Jackson East going toe-to-toe. That's got a recipe for an absolute ball-biter this afternoon.
6 minutes played for Maccas and no score in this game on the game traffic and contracting scoreboard for either side. As we have another ball up on centre wing. Had a big shower 15 minutes before the game, so it is very greasy out there. Philo, hand passes to Murray, running down the wing. Hooks it back towards goal. 40 out, lands. Well done there, Pethbridge. Did he get stone high? Umpire says, give it to me, Bobby J. Coratols.
Yeah, Sammy had no one to kick to there, so he had to straighten that up, hit it back into the corridor a bit further than he would have liked. Myrtleford are really working hard back defensively.
Throw up, and no ruckman got anywhere near it. The ball hit the ground. Del Bosco was tackled as he grabbed the footy from Sam Catapan, and we'll have a ball up about 10 metres from the previous one, just inside forward 50 for the Wang Rovers, and the same thing happened. No ruckman got a hand on the throw-up. Pethbridge, in fact, it's Calveen, the late inclusion. Mitch Tenardi, the late out for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. It's hacked forward, but Joel Smith wins it back for the Rovers on centre wing far side.
Really important matchup for the Rovers today. The Brody Riccardi, Joel Smith one. Riccardi's been white-hot form, a goal-kicking form the last couple of weeks. He's kicked bags of 5 and 5 in the consecutive weeks, so big job for Joel Smith.
Had a quiet 6 or 7 weeks leading into the last fortnight, Brody, and he's gone bang-bang as Parnell does. And Philo, Torpedo punts it inside 50. Wobbly old kick. Getting his hands to it out there on the far side was Tom Boyd. Wasn't able to bring it to ground. And the Saints run out of room as Curtis hacks it down the boundary line. It will be thrown back in. 55 metres around from the Rovers' goal. No score for game traffic and contracting. We've gone 7 minutes for Maccas.
5 inside 50s to the Wang Rovers here, but haven't been able to hit the scoreboard just yet. The Myrtleford Alpine Saints defending well.
Your umpires today, Dylan Sidebottom, Ash Broughton and Brenton Swanpool here at the WJ Finlay Oval. 3
of the best in the business, Blake.
Plenty of space at this stoppage, so I expect plenty of speed through the contest here. A lot of pairs standing away from the ruckman.
So it is thrown back in. Had to wait for the ball to come back on the other side of the ground. It's kicked out in mid-air by the Saints. Going to land on centre wing, and they go have a wall set up here, the Rovers. Ledger marks on centre wing. Plays on straight away. Good kick out really wide. Finds Ed Damon. Still 2 kicks from home, the Rovers. Camped on the Norm inside of the WJ Finlay. He sits this one up. Lands about 30 from goal. Curtis flew high with a defensive fist. Spills out towards Harrington. Careful kick across goals. It's been marked by Calveen. It was a free kick downfield anyway. Comes inboard with a 45, Del Bosco. And here come the Saints. They link up by hand. Curtis with a beautiful kick. It slides to the advantage of Jackson East down the wing. He says, stuff this. I'm going to hack it off the ground and gain 30 metres to my team. And just like that, the Saints have gone from defence to attack, throw in 50 metres around from their goal.
We've played nearly 10 minutes here and we haven't had any scoreboard pressure, I suppose you could say, Panda, but that was great ball movement. For Simon Curtis to hit that space running through that alley in front of Jackson East, who was running hard from half-back, it was great vision.
Throw in, still no score for Game Traffic and Contracting. Snapping towards goal from Jackson East. And we now have our first score, albeit it's a minor one. The Saints are on the board, one behind. To the Rovers, yet to score. All that for Game Traffic and Contracting. First term for A-grade oils and batteries. Winky, what do you got for us?
Jackson East up to the 3 disposals now, and Tom Capillari up to the 6 for the Myrtleford Saints.
His work rate's through the roof, Jackson East. He's phenomenal.
And we heard last week that he is the hardest trainer, Bobby. He's there at the club every single
day.
night.
Phenomenal.
Some blokes don't even want to show up for one night. He's there every week.
Great
Murray
example.
spilled it off his chest from the kick in. Keeping the footy in was Jake Sharp. In the end, the Rovers are happy to see it over the line. Bit of conjecture about whether it came off the Rovers' foot. Should have been out on the full. The Saints thought so. Umpire wasn't buying it.
Well umpired.
They do a good job, Winky. The boys in green. Give me a good umpire, Wink.
No, I would not.
Boundary throw in. Caligiero comes through the stoppage. Left foot kick to the top of the goal square. Playing the goalkeeper role as Will Nolan for the Rovers. Marks in the last line. Plays on straight away. It's a good kick, but dropping the mark out there was Jai Dalzotto. Finds a bit of calmness. He's going to switch the football back to the broadcast side. Finds Jace McQuaid. All this happening 10 metres from the Rovers' own defensive goal.
It's been a real arm wrestle, hasn't it?
Certainly has. Haven't had a goal yet, and we've played 11 minutes to Maccas. Jace McQuaid, not a good kick. The Saints through Sharp, win it back. Hand passes inside 50. Allison runs it over the chalk, and we'll have a throw in 45 around from the Saints' goal.
Still greasy enough to be a nuisance for marking overhead and out in front, isn't it? So it's still a chess mark type of operation until the greasiness gets off this ground. So hopefully in the next quarter and a bit we get some dry weather.
We'll go around the ground soon for Evolution Roofing and just find out what's happening in the SS&A Ovens and Murray. As we come down the wing here, Pethbridge wins it back for the Saints. Kick has been cut off though by Dalzotto for the Rovers at half-back. Hand passes out wide. Finds Philo. He's going to pump this long, 60 metres down the line. Cooper in a good position. Drops the mark. Well done defensively from Pethbridge, but Cooper gathers the football, left foot high up and under inside forward 50. Roving that there was Stewie Booth, who tumbles it inside forward 50. Schulte thought he was grabbed without the football. Capillari wins it back for the Saints on the last line. Kicks it out of defence. Going one-handed there was Riley Smith. The Rovers win it back. Dalzotto shovels it back to Parnell. Murray swoops around for the 1-2. He's going to kick this with a nice little dinky one looking for Christie, who was edged under the footy, and Del Bosco marks for the Saints in defence.
Quickly around the grounds for Evolution Roofing. Wodonga are off to fly against Albury as Myrtleford push forward.
They do. Riccardi, beautiful kick inside forward 50, as called beautifully by Bobby J. Riley Sharp slides down and marks.
It's a team effort today, Panda.
It is. He's going to kick this on a 45-degree angle. You have to kick this every bit of 52, 53 metres. I'd say yes in the dry, Bobby, but with a wet Sharon.
He was in great kicking form last week. Fantastic.
Off 6 goals last week. He's had a very good 6 weeks, says Riley Sharp. Truds in. The kick looks really good. Does it have the distance? I think it does. Riley Sharp kicks the game's first major at the 13th minute mark for Maccas. Off 6 last week, he's got the first today, and the Saints strike the first blow here in this one.
He had magnificent form last week when he had the ball in hand in front of goals, and he's continued that today with his first touch and first shot on goal from outside 50, as Panda called it. Struck it beautifully. He's a big target down forward, and he's got Jace McQuaid's going to have his hands full today if he gets his fair share of footy delivered to him like that.
Well, 36 goals now for the year for Riley Sharp. I reckon 28 of them or 25 of them have come in the last sort of 6 or 7 weeks. He's hit a real purple patch coming into the finals, and exactly what Myrtleford Alpine Saints would want leading into the back end of the year.
So back in the middle. Murray grabbed. Saints wanted holding the ball. And we have another stoppage right in the middle of the WJ Finlay Oval. As the Rovers go forward, Schulte marks just outside attack. I'm not sure he's got the distance here, Noah Schulte.
We'll go around the ground shortly, Pen. A couple of teams have got off to flyers, so we'll get to that shortly.
So Schulte getting plenty of instruction, sits it towards the top. Oh, Boyd! With a Mawson's concrete mark of the day. Got the ride beautifully to Tommy Boyd. In the wet, if you don't mind. And he will line up for the Rovers first. He's taken a specky.
He's just got the right little sit and then just got a little bit of a ride, didn't he, Wink?
He certainly did.
Blokes like you and I don't get that high, but, geez, he just got
I've never been that high in my life, Bob.
He got a nice little kicker and just propelled himself a little bit higher into the air, and that was well called by Panda. That was a ripper. Real good mark.
So Tommy Boyd, who missed the first 9 or 10 weeks with a ankle injury, settling into this season beautifully. In forward or defence, doesn't matter when you're as good as Tommy Boyd. He nails it. And the Rovers have their first goal. 1-1. Plays one straight. Myrtleford up by 1 point for game traffic and contracting.
They've got some weapons down in that forward line, don't they? They got Nathan Cooper, Tom Boyd as well. 2 big targets down there. And then you add Will Christie into the mix as well. So, you know, they've got targets everywhere going inside forward 50. And when they can jump and fly like that, there's not much the defenders can do, is there, Bob?
No, well, that matchup has forced Myrtleford to play Kai Gosser in a bit more of an accountable role, and it's stretched them defensively, and they can expose that throughout the day, Rovers. And while we're waiting for the ball, which has gone into the tennis courts, I'll quickly go around the grounds for Evolution Roofing. And Wangaratta got off to a flyer. They're 27 points up on Wodonga Raiders. Lavington are trailing Yarrawonga 12 points, 2 goals straight to 1-1. North Albury got a flyer against Corowa. They are 4-2 to 1 point in front. And Wodonga has got 2 goals, 3 to 1 straight against Albury. So a couple of flyers there, Panda. Absolute couple of flyers.
So it might not be wet in other parts of the northeastern border, Bobby J.
Yeah, no, that looks that way, doesn't it? Yeah, a couple of teams have really got a jump on them.
You would not have noticed that we've just had 10 minutes of rain because the sun's out and the blue skies are back. A perfect August day. As Charlie Thompson has the football. He swings it around the corner, but Curtis is there for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. Marks at half-back. Hourigan goes short with a dinky one. Finds Jackson East on centre wing. The foot skill's just starting to pick up.
Yep.
As the ground just dries. He goes down the wing with a careful kick looking for big Riley Smith. Oh, out the back, marking beautifully is Kieran Parnell for the Wangaratta Rovers. One of the best defenders in the competition when he plays. Only plays every second or third week. In fact, it's Charles Ledger, I should say. Goes down the line looking for Boyd. Had 2 to beat. Schulte does well. Paddles it to himself. Gains a metre on Calvin, who tackled him as he kicked it. Tumbles it inside forward 50. Looking for Will Christie. Brady Sharp sees it over the boundary line. It'll be thrown back in right next to the point post. 1 straight plays 1-1. The Myrtleford lead by 1 point over the Rovers.
That's a fantastic result. There wasn't much going on down the ground, and for him to, the old rugby league, find touch in a perfect position. This is A1 position for a throw-in.
Thrown back in. Christie read the advantage of the throw-in beautifully. He was tackled by Riley Smith high. The umpire says high, and big Will Christie, after kicking 7 last week, will line up for his first goal, directly in front, 30 out.
I'm not sure from our view here that we didn't get the best of you there. Just might have slid up with everybody sort of being a bit greasy after the rain. He might have slid a little bit higher there in the tackle and forced the free kick. In prime position, that you want that position for your ball-ins, but for a free kick, it's even better.
So big Will Christie, who's plummeted himself to 4th in the Doug Strang race with 39 goals for the year. Kicked 7 against Corowa last week. Directly in front. It's a bit of a wobbly old kick, but it's straight through the middle. Doesn't matter. And the Rovers have kicked the last 2 of this game. 12 play 7 for game traffic and contracting. We have played 18 minutes for Maccas.
You feel like this one's just going to open up now that that shower's gone through, the sun's out, it'll dry the ground out a bit, and a big forward like Will Christie could be on for a day if he can get it inside forward 50 and get those big dukes up. But the Myrtleford would be disappointed with that, giving a free kick away in the D50 is not what you want to do, especially to a player who's pretty good in front of goals normally as Will Christie.
The rain just makes your hair nice and greasy, nice and slick, and your muscles look nice and shiny, don't they, Wink, on days like today?
Not mine, Bob.
So we'll have a ball up. Beautiful sunshine right around the WJ Finlay now, and Philo balks around and kicks a shallow entry inside 50, looking for Christie. Good work, Augusta, who's got that match-up. Wins it back for the Saints on the far side. Kicks towards Jackson East out there, who runs out of room and will have a boundary throw in as that chicken schnitzel burger just starts to make its way back up my diaphragm, Bobby J, for Corotiles.
They were fantastic early doors, the Snitters. I've walked in just at the right time because I think you guys were eyeing off mine that was just sitting there to the side. I got it a little bit later and I thought he was under real pressure, that third Snitter today.
19 minutes played for Maccas, and the crowd just goes back to their seats here at the WJ Finlay. They've been hiding under cover as the rain came down about 10 minutes before the bounce and stayed well and truly into the first few minutes as the Saints tumble it down the far wing. Picked up by the Rovers. It's a dangerous kick inboard, and it's been marked by the Saints in an attacking part of the ground. Harrington with a shallow entry into the pocket. Well read there by Joel Smith. Riccardi snuck out the back, but Smith went the footy. He wins it and goes short to Sam Murray. He goes short also to Sam Catapan. How many for him, Winky? 40 winks?
Only one to Sam Catapan. That's his first one. Sam Murray's had the 4 on the 40 wing stat sheet.
That was an important win for Joel Smith.
It was. Brody Riccardi played that really smart, particularly with the greasiness. That ball could have slipped past, and he just got low enough to get that.
Oh,
that was a great mark.
Dangerous kick.
It was a dangerous switch from Sam Murray, and Pethbridge came from the clouds to try and intercept, and Parnell had to take that mark, and he did. Kieran Parnell.
He's a fantastic player.
Goes short to Lockie O'Brien, who's going to switch it once again. You'd think there is no rain that has fallen at all in the last half an hour. Nolan goes long down the wing. 1-on-1 contest between McCarthy and Hourigan. Saints go in to lend Lockie Hourigan a hand. Cooper applies a tackle on Hourigan. We'll have a ball up on the far wing to the left of the scoreboard. 12 plays 7. Rovers up.
Jackson East up to the 5 disposals as well on the 40 wing stat sheet.
Ball up on the far side of the ground. The Rovers win it back. They circle around through Catapan. Left foot kick to half forward. Caught out the back was Cooper. Thought he gave away a free kick. Umpire says play on. Harrington retreats about 20 metres to Augusta, who got some pressure from Philo. Augusta's kick comes to the broadcast side. Wasn't to the advantage of Sharp. O'Brien inside 50 for the Rovers with a beautiful kick. Philo. Or did he hear footsteps? Didn't really want to mark that footy, did Brody. The Rovers win it back. Allison with an awful kick. Travelled about 3 metres to Wilson, who gave it back to Allison. Munro,
that's a great
big gang tackle. Mawson's concrete player of the day, and Munro wins a free kick in the defensive 50 for the Saints.
That's great. That's a great defensive act by one of your leaders. The Muncher just come from nowhere and really laid an important tackle in a dangerous spot for his team. And
Munro's kick is a poor one. It's been intercepted.
Give a man a rap.
By the Wang Rovers. And it's Nathan Cooper, who goes short to Murray. His kick had too much pepper on it for Catapan. Philo went by hand to Catapan. Bit of scrappiness has crept into this first quarter for A-grade oils and batteries. Players missing targets, Winky, and we'll have a ball up inside 50 for the Rovers.
Well, Wang Rovers have had 6 intercept marks, Panda. They ranked last in the competition in that stat with 11, so they've already had 5 in this first term.
2 goals straight to the Rovers, 1-1 to the Saints for game traffic and contracting. Philo threw it over the top to McCarthy, down the line to Catapan, left foot banana from the pocket. It looked good from where we were sitting. Just across the face of goal for a minor score.
That had every right to go in, didn't it? That was where the perfect view for the left-footed banana. But just on the scrappiness, Panda, I think because we haven't had too many goals kicked, that it's been played at a fair speed and that the players have probably just got a little bit of fatigue and looking for that first break. And we've been playing 23 minutes, so I shouldn't be too far away for that first break.
2-2-14 to 1-1-7. The Rovers lead for game traffic and contracting. As Simon Curtis has the kick-in duties for the Saints. Goes short to Kai Augusta. Played a few VFL games for Box Hill. Right foot kick down the wing. Travels about 55 metres. Fisk goes towards Brand, tackled by Allison. We'll have a ball up on the far side. 13 plays 7, 23 played for Maccas. Winky, 40 winks.
Brody Philo's up to the 7 disposals. We know these greasy conditions suit him because he plays all year round up north, so he's started this one on fire.
Harrington, a careful switch across goals to the fat side of the ground. Will the ball sit for Beatty? It will. Under pressure from the Rovers. Kicks it down the wing hurriedly. Bounces past Charles Ledger and also Riley Smith. Rovers through McQuaid. McCarthy, careful kick off a step was nice to O'Brien. He can go short to Wilson, ignores it. He's got Big Ed Damon in the middle of the ground asking for the footy. Umpire says no. O'Brien, beautiful kick. Finds Dylan Stone. Point of the square. Channel opens up for the leading lane of Cooper. Oh, comes hard. Good defence from Big Toby Costa. Well done. The Saints win it back. Agosta deep in defence. Trudging after him is Christie. Oh, Agosta just shows Damon a little bit of candy. Bork's back in on the right with a beautiful kick down the wing. Finds Murphy Dale. Watch the ground. Just open up here for the Saints. They transition beautifully. Riccardi out on the far wing. Takes a second or two to survey his option, and his kick was smothered. He has enough time to win it back, though, and goes, stuff this. I'm going into the pocket looking for Riley Smith. Ledger does well. Rovers defence calm under pressure. Stone has a little bit of time. He links up by hand Del Zotto. He switches out here to Murray, and he can go over the top here to Dylan Wilson if he wants. Says no. So instead he goes to half forward. Well done, Pethbridge and Tom Boyd in a contest. Del Bosco tackled by Booth. Rovers win it back through Thompson. Back to Stone. Careful kick to Stewie Booth, and everyone just takes a breath, Bobby.
You need a spell, mate. That was a fantastic call. It was a very advanced game of circle work there for probably 4 or 5 minutes there.
Booth looking for Boyd. Agosta. How many for him, Winky?
I'm not doing Kai's numbers, Sander.
Stuff that, Kai. That's what Winky says to me. He goes to Murphy Dale. Goes out wide here to Pethbridge. Left foot kick. Hits the ground, and Capillari has to paddle it to himself. And it wasn't a great kick from Pethbridge because the ball's gone out of play.
One thing we haven't mentioned yet is Stewie Booth playing in game 100 today, Panda. I think I read in the paper he debuted in 2015, so it's taken him a while to get there, but congratulations to Stewie in game 100.
Persistent, isn't it? Persistence.
10 years to notch up the big milestone. Injuries and COVID amongst that. Philo. Snap around the corner, went about 10 metres, and it's been marked by Calvin at half-back. The late inclusion for Mitch Tenardi, who's out of the game today with an injury. He's going to hug the boundary line, Calvin, to a big pack of players. Setting himself to try and mark that was Cossa. Riley Sharp, the only goal kicker for the Saints. Bananas it down the boundary line, looking for Jake Sharp. It looks like he's playing forward. It spills out towards Calagero. Kick off the instep. Floats inside forward 50. Didn't favour any of his forwards. Allison for the Rovers. Hurried kick comes to half forward. Calvin playing a good game, the late inclusion. Marks on centre wing for the Saints.
He's done some good things, hasn't he? A couple of intercepts, marks in the last 2 or 3 minutes. He's played some a real important role so far today.
Played some really good footy before getting injured.
Yep.
He got injured against Lavington, I think. Winky, you were at that game?
Yep, yeah. He and Lockie Murphy Dale went down with hamstrings in that one.
Murray, a high up and under to half forward. Cooper comes to create a contest. Catapan gives it back to the man who kicked it down the wing and says, get out of my way, Capillari. Goes with a 1-2 and a don't argue to Dylan Stone, who runs out of room, and we'll have a throw in front of our commentary position. 13 play 7. Rovers up by 1 straight kick. We played 27 for Maccas. First term for A-grade Alls and Batteries.
We could all see what Sammy Murray was trying to do there, but he was 3 metres out of bounds before he could get back in the field of play to get the received handball.
How do you reckon you'd go with that don't argue to your chest, Winky?
I would have got in the forehead, so I would have got a free kick.
You are about 4 foot for those listening at home.
5'2".
There we go. Being generous. Cooper tackled, and we'll have a ball up just in between 50 and the centre line. Favouring the Rovers, who have kicked the last 2 goals of this game. Calagero went without the football. Likewise, East. Rovers clean. O'Brien ekes a kick inside forward 50. As the rain starts to tumble back down again here at the WJ Finlay Oval, and the siren ends the first quarter. An entertaining one for A-grade Alls and Batteries. Stay with us. That one went 28 minutes. The Rovers lead by 1 straight kick. 13 play 7. It's O&M Live, where you won't miss a thing.
Clear. Jaco Aubrey Wodonga. O&M live on Edge FM.
Light rain falling now here at the WJ Finlay Oval between the Rovers and the Saints. The Saints kick the first goal through Riley Sharp at the 13th minute mark. The Rovers kick the last two of that first quarter. They take a 1-goal lead into quarter time, 13-7. Blake Penderecki with you. We've got David Wink. We've got Bobby Jackson as well. Winky, our Aubrey Vital Air quarter's best in the first term, please, my friend.
For the Myrtleford Saints, Kai Augusta, his first quarter was outstanding across half-back. We spoke pre-game about that move being made a few weeks ago. It's been outstanding for the Saints the last fortnight or two. And then for Wang Rovers, the coach, Sam Murray, stood up 8 disposals in that first term. Really used the ball like a dry weather footy when the game was on. It started raining early. Sam was taking that game on, taking the switch on and really opening the ground up for the Rovers.
Some of our leading stat winners, please, in the first quarter for 40 Winks.
So Sam and Brody Follow both with 8 for the Wang Magpies, and then the Wang Rovers, not the Wang Magpies, and then for the Myrtleford Saints, Tom Capillari with 7 leading the way for them.
Bobby, what did you notice in the first quarter, my friend?
What I noticed was both teams are quite comfortable to play the game in their back half and control the ball across that particular area of the ground and work it through the middle of the ground. So, that's one thing that stood out for me. Both very comfortable in that part. But, they just need to get that ball inside 50, create some more opportunities, which I think, the Rovers tended to spend more time inside their forward 50 with pressure on goal than what Myrtleford did. So
16-5 inside 50.
Yeah, so it felt like a lot of the players in front of us here in the commentary box, that's for sure.
Whose camp would you rather be in at quarter time, Bobby?
Rovers. Without a doubt, they played a good brand of footy, and they're renowned sort of slow starters, and their second quarter historically has been pretty good.
Certainly has, apart from the game where they played against Yarra a couple of weeks ago. That was a very windy day where wind favoured one end of the ground. So second term underway for Jaco Aubrey Wodonga. Jumping to Jaco. Get up north out of this crap weather too, Bobby. Perfect time to get into Jaco.
How was it up north, Blake?
Wasn't too bad, David Wink, up in Coolangatta. Just the 5 nights.
5 is enough.
5 is enough to escape a little bit of this cold. In saying that, though, the weather was probably better here. Parnell kicks down the wing, far side of the ground, Philo. As Winky said earlier, clean in these greasy conditions. Left foot kick inside 50. Christie just got rid of his opponent. Already kicked one in this first quarter. High up and under, snap towards goal. And it's punched through for a minor score. And the Rovers move to 2-14 to Myrtleford 1-1-7. All that on the CMV truck and bus scoreboard. Christie's looking dangerous, isn't he, Bobby J, for Corowa Tiles?
He is. He's really stretching that Myrtleford defensive unit, and he's providing a target as he does each week. And off the back of 7 goals, they want to get the ball in his hand as much as they possibly can. With a torp in the wet.
Big torpedo punt, which is what we love to see.
Should be more of it.
I agree. As Declan Brand has the ball for the Tricolours. Goes by hand to East, who was under pressure. Had to get rid of it quickly. Murphy-Dale snapped to no one. They lost all their structure forward of the footy. And Murray wins it back for the Rovers with an intercept mark. A short option. Goes to Charlie Thompson. Runs about 10 metres, then disposes of the Sharon. To half forward. Looking for Christie. Riley Smith, the biggest boy, bending down nice and low. Gives it to Sharp. Hurried kick once again. Rovers are set up beautifully behind the wall, Bobby.
That's one thing that's really standing out, particularly the back 6, and also the midfielders are pushing back hard to help out. So they're structurally pretty good at the moment defensively-wise, Rovers.
Nolan goes down that far wing once again. Finds Lockie O'Brien. Had a very good start to the season. Maybe just fallen away a little bit in the middle of the second half of the season. Dangerous kick looking for Parnell. Good defensive fist from McCarty. Almost forces a turnover. Ball in congestion in the middle of the ground. They pile in. We'll have a ball up on the far side of the ground. Only the one behind in this second quarter for Jaco.
We've got a player down there. I just can't quite see who that is. You've got the binoculars on there, Panda, but just a bit of friendly fire, I think, in traffic.
I reckon it's Matty Munro.
No, I think Matty had green boots on, didn't he? Has he changed his boots at quarter time? He has changed his boots.
No, it's Matty Munro. He looks okay. He's up now. He was holding his head.
Head knock.
He's coming to the bench. They don't muck around these days.
No,
he's as tough as they come, though, the muncher. He'll be fine, I'm sure.
So he's coming to the bench. A stoppage in play. And the umpire balls it up once he's happy where Matty Munro is. We'll have another ball up in the same position.
Is that a disadvantage there? We'll have no. Well, Myrtleford lose a play from that contest. The ball goes up. The players are just coming on the ground now.
It's a good call, Winky. It is. Do they lose one at the stoppage or inside forward 50? Here's Murray. Receives the hand pass from O'Brien. Loads up with a corridor kick. Well chopped off by Tom Capillari, who started this game brilliantly, Winky.
Up to the 8th disposals.
Kick was a worm burner, though. Asked a lot of Jackson East. One back by Nolan. Thompson with pace. Kicks to the top of the goal square in front. Posse there is Cooper. Working hard defensively was Capillari. There's a whistle here.
Holding
and
the
a
man.
free kick, Bobby J. Corotals.
Yeah, holding the man. Just a bit of a shirt tug after the ball was disposed of. Zach Petherbridge.
Pethbridge. That has to be a free kick to Jake Sharp. Wilson just ran into him.
And hit him in the back of the noggin too, I
Yep,
think.
hit him right in the melon. Wasn't looking at the football. Sharp tries to open up the middle of the ground. Good courage from both players, McCarthy and East. Capillari been the Saints' best. A perfect tackle on Allison. Couldn't dispose of the footy. The umpire says, I'll have it. Ball up right on centre wing.
Both teams aren't afraid to hit that middle corridor from anywhere on the ground. It's a quality that top teams are having nowadays. They just back themselves to hit that middle corridor.
Cossa tumbles the ball to half forward. Looking for Lockie Murphy-Dale. Parnell on him. O'Brien playing soccer. Soccers it to himself and then kicks it off the ground 40 metres for his team. It slides to half forward. One-on-one contest out there between Beatty and also Cooper. Picked it up and then sort of dropped the football. Curtis does well to provide a running option. Goes by foot down the line to big Riley Smith. Good mark in front of Ledger. Will it open up here for the Saints? Goes by hand to Murphy-Dale. Caught on his left foot. Interesting kick looking for Sharp, who thought he was held. Allison under pressure. Calmly to Nolan. Left foot kick out of defence is going to be chopped off by Curtis. Probably should have marked the football. Parnell. Hand passes now to Ledger. Careful kick down the line. Looking for Tommy Boyd, who slides and doesn't take the mark. In fact, it comes off his boot because Pethbridge wants a free kick for out on the full. The umpire says throw it in, Bobby J.
Yeah, just you called it perfectly in the back pocket there. The Rovers were calmly, and that's the first thing that comes to my mind when Xavier Allison.
Xavier Leslie's retired about 5 years, my friend.
And Shaganol, whenever those two boys are around the footy, the calmness that the Rovers get from those two fellas, they just ooze confidence whenever they have the footy.
So we've played around 5 minutes for Maccas. Second term for Jaco. 14 play 7. Rovers up for CMV Truck and Bus. It's been intercepted on the far side by Sam Murray. How many for him now, Winky?
11 now for Muzz.
Starting to become a real factor. Beautiful kick inside forward 50. Tommy Boyd was just in a metre of space and Murray picked him out. And Boyd can line up for goal number 2. He plays on straight away, doesn't waste much time. Beautiful kick in towards McCarthy. Great defensive work there from Pethbridge because McCarthy looked like all money he was going to mark it. Pethbridge's kick though.
Leslie Lewis comes off the bench.
Yeah, Lewis come off the bench at the right time, fumbled. Thompson, hack kick inside forward 50. Christie thought he was being held.
Oh,
Pethbridge ran down by Damon. No talk, no idea. Damon swooped, wins a free kick holding the ball inside forward 50.
The big fella must have been on tippy toes. You didn't hear him coming in like a thief in the night, got him from the behind and wrapped him up in a beautiful tackle. You know, you love nothing better than your big fellas making tackles and working hard defensively. So, you know, Ed Damon having a shot on goal, 45-degree angle, 25 metres out.
He's kicked a few goals this year. Has Big Ed Damon. Kicked 8 here against Corowa in the middle part of the season. Start of the year forward. He's moved into the ruck. He knows how to find the big sticks and he's nailed it. Rovers have kicked the last 3. They lead this game by 13 points. 3-2-20 to 1-1-7. David Wink, 40 winks.
That's goal number 18 for Ed for the year, and it's such a luxury that the Rovers have, having a ruckman that can sneak forward and not just take a big mark, but can apply tackles like that and get holding the ball, free kicks in front of goal, then go back and finish it off, and then go straight back to the centre square.
They're team lifters, aren't they? Those defensive acts in the forward 50 and you get a shot on goal.
They are, and especially from your big guys. Like key forwards and ruckmen are usually not known for their forward pressure, but that's one thing that the Wang Rovers guys do very well. Nathan Cooper and Tom Boyd and Will Christie put a lot of forward pressure on.
Just losing a fair bit of structure, I reckon, forward of the footy, the Myrtleford Alpine Saints, who have had everything on their own terms in the last 5 weeks. And when they come up against the best side in the competition today, They're just not able to get front half footy, are they, Bobby J, at the moment?
No, exactly right. It's a rise in class, I suppose, from what they've been playing against the last 4 or 5 weeks. This is the best team in the competition for the last, season and a half, and they're getting their lesson for free today.
So a boundary throw in out on the far side. A few spectators out there on the other side of the WJ Finlay Oval. The rain has stopped once again. It was only a brief shower, maybe a minute or two at quarter time. There's a whistle. We're going to have that thrown back in, I think.
I know why I've been talking about Xavier Leslie today. His wife, Kyle, is playing her 350th game for Yarrawonga Footy Club. There you go. That's why I was doing it, Panda.
That's why.
Not because I'm old and silly and can't remember people's names. It's got nothing to do with it at all.
I thought you were just old and silly, Bob.
It's a good reason, Bobby J, because she's a star.
She is a star.
Kylie Leslie.
She's a star.
I don't know how many premierships she's won.
Oh.
7 at a guess.
There you go, potentially. It's an educated guess. Del Bosco's hand pass was intercepted by Damon. Swings it on the boot inside 50. Tumbling kick. Del Bosco on hands and knees like he's done so for 190-odd games. Spills it over the line and will be thrown back in. Still deep into Rovers' attack. How many inside 50s, Winky?
Well, I was just about to mention that. 22-7 for the game so far.
Just 7.
Just 7 for the game for the Myrtleford. So that's one thing that they've really got to sharpen up. They're getting taught a lesson here at the clearances, and Rovers are just doing things on their terms at the moment.
I said this pre-game. They rise for the big games to the Rovers. They know the big moments. They want a free kick for holding the footy.
But in saying that, 22 inside 50s for 5 shots on goal, that could be a concern as well. And Myrtleford might be saying, right, defensively we're pretty sound. We've just got to tidy up through the middle and pushing forward.
Hit it spot on, Bob.
Ball up, still deep in defence for Myrtleford, who are working in overdrive, and we have another stoppage.
Defensively, the Saints are holding up really well, but forward of the ball, Panda, you called it, they seem to be breaking down sort of in the middle of the ground. I don't know if they're getting sucked up too high, and then when they get there, they don't have the option.
Well, the Rovers have 2 spare in the middle of the ground. Ed Damon and Charles Ledger. Well, Sharp almost marked, wasn't able to. Rovers have numbers at ground level on the far side. Allison on to Damon, inside 50. Murray, who snuck forward, caught
50.
one over the shoulder from Brady Sharp, and Bobby J called it. It's a 50-metre free kick, and Murray will be marched to the goal square.
Just a frag late. He was probably a step and a half out of the contest, and he had time to pull up, and he followed through, and it was deemed late, and the 50-metre penalties. It's a harsh one, particularly where the ball was on the boundary line, 40 metres out. Sammy would have had a shot at goal, and 9 times out of 10 he kicks it, but he's definitely going to kick it this time.
Top of the goal square, easy as you like for Sam Murray, who's probably the best player on the ground at the minute. And that's the last 4 goals for the Rovers. They lead 26-7. We've played 10 minutes for Macca's, second term for Jaco Aubrey-Wodonga.
Yeah, 12 disposals and a goal now for the Rovers coach here. He's a class above at the moment, and the Myrtleford, there hasn't been a matchup gone to him that I've noticed from here, boys, but is it something that the Alpine Saints coaching staff need to think about, because he's been so damaging at the moment?
Well,
I'm not sure they have the player out there now
him,
who can do it. We've seen Austin Wicks do it against Tim Broomhead and try to do it against Jack Costello, Winky, but he played in the 12 o'clock show, so I'm not sure they have anyone who can just be a negative.
One thing that's standing out for me is the way Rovers are controlling the football defensively. The last couple of weeks, we've noticed that Myrtleford love using the corridor, love getting the ball back through the middle of the ground. They're not allowing the Saints to get anywhere near that, the Rovers. So defensively, they've set up really, really well.
What it shows me is that the Rovers have gone to work on what the Myrtleford Alpine Saints do well. They've come prepared, and they're completely shutting it all down. Thompson probably should have been caught holding the ball. He was gang tackled a few times.
He's been everywhere. Him and Catapan at the coalface are just the dynamic duo at stoppages.
We spoke about Myrtleford's uncontested marking before the game. They haven't been able to do that today.
Del Bosco looks like he's gone to Murray in the middle of the ground. They have a few words to say to each other as Thompson's caught holding the ball by Lockie Miotto. And the Saints play on straight away with pace. They go into the pocket. Not the greatest of kick. Looking for Bowen Calagero, who snuck forward. He's over this football. Disposed of it. Parnell streams out of defence. Look at him take a bounce and run and carry. He's taken 2, still deep in defence. Ran out of room. Had to hand pass it hurriedly. And there's a free kick against Lockie Murphy-Dale.
He just shoved Parnell in the back.
As Winky just said there, for 40 winks. And the Rovers have it at half back. Good kick from McCarthy, finds Wilson on a searching lead. And this is the part of the game the Rovers have done well, Bobby J, for Corowa Tiles.
Controlling the footy, and they send up well laterally as well as down the line. So there's options across to the centre of the ground for Wilson there, but failed to take them. But they've set up well structurally here.
His kick was intercepted by the big ruckman, Riley Smith, who's going to go back to try and switch the footy. Finds Hourigan. His kick, though, awful. Calvin spilled it. Johnny on the spot, Tom Boyd. The kick was awful across goals. Calvin slipped over. Comedy of errors. Boyd, right place, right time. 5 in a row for the Rovers.
That's just perceived pressure, though, isn't it? The pressure that the Rovers have put on has caused that, little turnover. The Myrtleford Saints think they're under a lot more pressure than they are, and that's caused by the pressure that they are being applied when they have the footy in hand, Bob.
Yeah, the situation's sort of getting away from Myrtleford real quickly here. Just as you said, is it perceived pressure or genuine pressure? That's the question. That was perceived, but the genuine pressure around the ground, and Kieran Parnell across the back, they've really ramped it up here, and I think that the Rovers have come to play, and their boss is leading the way. Sammy Murray's been fantastic today.
That's Boyd's second. And Rovers have kicked 5 on the trot, 32 play, 7 for C&V Truck and Bus. And we've only played 13 minutes for Maccas in this second term. Schulte, clever little tap to his teammate in Dalzotto. Everything working in unison here for the Wang Rovers. Inside 50, Thompson has snuck forward in a pocket of space, and he can line up for the Rovers' 4th goal of this second quarter, and we've only gone 14 minutes.
This guy's really lifted his work rate in his second quarter. He's gone to work at the stoppages. Him and Sammy Catapan, they've basically owned the area around the contested footy, and he's pushed forward at a rate of knots. And they're winning that midfield battle when they're pushing forward Wangaratta Rovers, and this guy's leading the way. He's a superstar. He's going to push Jackson East for the Morris medal at the end of the year, this guy. He's a superstar.
The 10th disposal for the game.
So Charlie Thompson directly in front. He'll strike the footy from about 47 metres. Has kicked a lot of goals this year. That kick has snuck through, held its line beautifully. Has a bit to say too, Charlie Thompson. And the Rovers have opened up a 31-point advantage, 38 play 7. They're in strife, the Saints, Winky.
Yeah, well, this is where the Rovers, we spoke about how dangerous they are when they rise to the challenge. They've been cruising, well, from the outside it seems like they've been cruising the last couple of weeks, but they come up today in what is a genuine top-of-the-table clash between two A-grade sides, and they're putting the Saints to the sword at the moment.
They certainly are. This is a real quick learning curve on finals footy for Myrtleford. It's probably coming at a good time with 2 games in to go before the finals, but there's still a long way to go in this game. They'll want to get something out of this real quick.
38 play 7 for C&V Truck and Bus. 4 goals in 14 minutes to start this second quarter. What do the Saints have to throw back at the Rovers? Murphydale does well. Opens up a little bit of space. Left foot kicks a good one. Running back towards goal is Lockie Miotto. Never took his eyes off the Sharon. And to say the Saints need this is an understatement. Bobby?
Sorry, Winky.
Sorry, that's only the second mark that the Saints have been able to take inside their forward 50. They're ranked number 1 in that aspect in the competition with 14, nearly 15 per game.
Yeah, no, fantastic call. Wink, this was a courageous mark. He was running back with a fly to the footy, and he was the only one that sort of had eyes for the footy, and he was always going to mark it. They need this.
So Lockie Miotto from about 33, 34 metres, slight angle, he should kick this. To give the Saints their second goal, nails it. Much needed one. Breaks a runner, 6 goals on the trot.
And that's more like the footy we've seen for the Myrtleford Saints in the last month or so, where they've come out of the centre stoppage with quick hands and then quick ball movement and find a mark inside forward 50. That's the footy that they've been playing so well over the last month. And we just haven't seen it today, but hopefully that's a sign that they can kick the next goal or two and we have a real game on our hands.
Just some clean footy in the middle. Josh Moracco, I think, was the guy that won that centre clearance. He got the ball forward as quick as he possibly can. And, that gives him an opportunity. And Lockie Murphy-Dale, he's starting to have a bit of an influence when the ball goes forward. So that's a good sign pushing forward for Myrtleford as well.
30, sorry, Winky.
Quickly around the grounds for Evolution Roofing. Lavington, Yarrawonga. Lavington lead that one by 2 points, 27-25. Closest game we have so far.
38 plays 13 here for C&V Truck and Bus. Rovers up. That's the Saints' first goal since the 10th minute mark when they kicked the first goal of the game in the first quarter. And a high free kick is going to go the way of the Saints here. Del Bosco, the recipient.
I'm pretty sure Tommy Boyd was in that centre bounce then, was he, boys?
Potentially. In fact, it's Miotto, the goal kicker from about a minute ago. Lockie Miotto. It's a shallow entry. Murphydale brought it to ground. Roving beautifully is Jackson East. Shot towards goal. Does it get over the back? Sharp. Did he juggle the mark? Dropped it at the last minute. And it goes through for a behind. The Saints move to 2-2. The Rovers 6-2 for CMV Truck and Bus. It's an even 24 points, Bobby J, for Corowa Tiles.
Yeah, some good signs in the last 2 or 3 minutes for Myrtleford. They're starting to get their hands on the footy and starting to win some uncontested ball moving forward. So that's their A1, I suppose. Their one wood uncontested footy. So let's hope for them that they start getting a bit more of that.
Free kick against Lockie Miotto for a high on Sam Catapan. In between half back and the wing on the far side of the WJ Finlay. He's going to retreat about 20 metres to Kieran Parnell. And they're going to switch the football, which they've done effectively, the Rovers. Smith in the defensive goal square. It's a poor kick. It misses his intended target, which was Ledger. It allows some pressure to be applied through Harrington from the Saints, but the Rovers have enough numbers. Nolan went without the football. He swoops on him. A stalemate wins out. As the Rovers tried to switch the football, the Saints did well to cover, and we'll have a boundary throw in right in front of our commentary position.
They had the overlap there. That kick, that missed target, which should have been hit, they were out and down the ground with free-flowing footy of a clean overlap. They wouldn't be happy with that, the Rovers.
It was Joel Smith's kick that just missed the target. Damon's hit out. Goes towards Damon Harrington. Agosta tackled straight away by Philo. And we'll have a ball up right on centre wing. 18 minutes played in this second quarter. It's 38-14. The Rovers lead by 24 points. We've had a five-goal quarter, 4 goals to the Rovers, and 1 goal to the Alpine Saints in the first-third clash. Munro's kick was smothered by Thompson, who's followed up with a big tackle from Matty Munro. Brought him to ground, caught holding the ball, and Munro, in the end, wins out for the Saints on centre wing.
It's good to see the Muncher back. He had a bit of a head knock there earlier on the quarter. It's good to see him back out there running around.
Good kick that opens up the corridor. Pethbridge onto Diesel Beatty, who gets around O'Brien. Hand pass to a man who was under pressure. Will Nolan tackled Maraca as he grabbed the football. And we'll have a ball up just inside the centre square. One
thing that stood out for me, Winky, is Simon Curtis and Kai Gossa haven't had as much footy in their hand this quarter, whereas they've been instrumental the last 2 or 3 games for them.
I've got Simon Curtis down for 6 for the game.
Dalzotto's hand pass was clean, and here come the Rovers linking up through McCarthy. Kick to half forward, is that 50? Oh, almost from Calvin. Stone marks, he plays on straight away. Likes his options forward of the footy. Christie. Caught behind, wasn't able to mark. Boyd, agile at ground level, loops the hand pass over to Catapan, who copped one high from Simon Curtis. There wasn't too much in it, but he just cleaned him over. And Catapan, the recipient of a free kick for the Rovers, inside 50, all on his own as Dalzotto. In fact, it's McCarthy, called to play on. Hurried kick towards the goal square. Cooper, did he get a Sharon toe on it? He did. It was a tap towards goal. It was trying to be fisted over the boundary line from the Saints. It didn't go over, and Cooper pounced and he's kicked a goal.
I reckon he's kicked that with the bottom of his foot, Winky. From where we look here, it looked like he's trying to have a kick at goal, and the ball just dribbled off the bottom of his foot through for a goal, but dribbled over the back with a bit of a greasy footy, and Johnny on the spot, Nathan Cooper. But the Myrtleford Saints did need that one. They were just starting to get their fair share of footy through the middle.
Well, I don't reckon that one will make AFL shows footy time legends or whatever it was called. It was a pretty ugly goal, but the Rovers get one back after the Saints kicked one against the momentum, and they just seem to have all the answers for what the Saints are throwing them at the moment, Rovers.
So what happened? I just saw the replay. Jake Sharp tried to punch it over the over the line, wasn't able to, and Cooper was right place, right time, and just got a little toe poke on it.
That's how you have to kick them sometimes, Blake.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Winky.
So you got a lot of your goals back in the day, Winky?
That is very true. Out the back, cheap ones.
Yeah, so did Josh Jenkins that one year. Never forget that, when Adelaide made the grand final.
Oh, jeez.
He was called the out-the-back specialist, I believe, Josh Jenkins, that year.
Joe the Goose.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, he got paid a lot more to kick the Joe the Goose is out the back than I did.
He did. Have a boundary throw in here on centre wing, broadcast side. That is a spectacular boundary throw-in from the man.
That's a ripper.
That is the best I've seen this year. Munro tried to get past a couple, or lucky not to be caught holding the ball. He was gang tackled by Allison and also Jai Dalzotto. We have a ball up. True centre wing. Cossa wins the battle of the strength with Damon. Munro out of the stoppage. Quick kick forward towards Riccardi. Smith wearing him like a glove. Riccardi trying to win a free kick for a hold. Smith right over him, not giving him an inch, Bobby J, for Corowa.
He's been fantastic, like a glove down the back there. And yeah, it's obviously a matchup they put a bit of emphasis on. Myrtleford love to pinch a goal late here. Love to.
44 plays 14 for CMV Truck and Bus as we have a boundary throw. We might go to Winky for 40 winks.
Just around the ground for Evolution Roofing, Panda. A game at Martin Park, 5 goals, 8-38. Wodonga lead. Aubrey Tigers 5 goals straight, 30. So 8 point in that one. But the Doggies look like they could be further in front of that kick straight.
Probably the story of their year. Wodonga and another spectacular boundary throw-in from the best in the business. You give that man a grand final day appearance, please. Lots of players around the Sharon. Delzotto just threw it out. Brent intercepted and jammed it on the boot. It floats to inside forward 50. Big Riley Smith brought it to ground. Riccardi swooped. Smith straight on him once again. Riccardi fighting for a possession over the Sharon. Boundary line wins out. Still deep in attack for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints.
It was really well done by Joel Smith there. He grabbed Brodie Riccardi, and as Riccardi released the ball, he released Brodie Riccardi too, so he didn't give the free kick away. That was really smart.
7-2-44 plays 2-2-14 for CMV Truck and Bus. 23 minutes played for Macca's. Smith with a beautiful tap out the back, except no teammate was on the same page. Damon grubbed it towards Capillari. Got around one. Kicks towards an open goal square. It's across the face, though. And we'll have another boundary throw-in, albeit on the other side of the goals, in the right forward pocket for the Saints.
Right spot to pinch one here, Panda. We're right deep into red time here in the second quarter. The Myrtleford Saints, if they need any sort of momentum, this is it right now. They need to pinch one off the back of a pack. Brodie Riccardi special here.
They trail by 5 goals, 44-14. It's been a brown and gold quarter here in their home deck. They might pinch one through Riccardi. Snap towards goals. Been marked by the coach on the last line. Sam Murray playing the goalkeeper role for the Wang Rovers. And the defensive goal square. Beautiful kick finds Ed Damon. How do you see that matchup so far, Bobby J. Coratoles? Who's winning the ruck duel?
Ed Damon.
I think so too. Working harder, in my opinion.
Yeah, he is. He outworked the I'm sorry, I think it might have been Toby in the ruck then. 60-metre effort to get the footy on the outside.
Gee, that's a dangerous
switch from O'Brien. And 2 Myrtleford Alpine Saints clean each other up.
And they're both hurt.
And both of them are hurt on the ground. We'll watch that as the Rovers try and run out of defence. In the end, the boundary line is the recipient of the footy.
They're both up now,
It's Jake Sharp and Jackson East, 2 blokes who do not give an inch. Jake Sharp looks like he might have a tiny little bit of claret coming from his head. Yep, he's been split open, Jake Sharp.
Jackson East coming from the ground too.
Both of them, I reckon, are bleeding. Jake Sharp's got a fair bit of claret coming from his left eye. As both players...
I'm not sure if that's Jackson East's gait, but looks like, is he carrying a shoulder or he's...
No, I think he does.
So it was a dangerous switch from Lockie O'Brien, and both Myrtleford Alpine Saints players did their all to try and intercept, and they collided. They are up and moving, which is good to see, but both with a bit of claret.
Can't afford to lose Jackson East.
Nope.
Both straight into the change rooms too, Panda.
Yep. So
assume they'll do a HIA.
They'll probably do the concussion protocols, and then if they're right to go, they'll get taped up, and they'll both look like the mummies out there because they both have a bit of blood coming from their melon. Boundary throw in, far side. Rovers 44, Saints 14 for CMV Truck and Bus. Cossa tried to find a teammate. Damon, though, wins it back for the Rovers. Grubbers at about 50 metres down the line. Catapan tackles Diesel Beatty over the boundary line, and we'll have a throw in. That is the perfect example of what used to happen. He would have been swung over the line then, Diesel Beatty, by Catapan, but he just carefully placed him over the line, Bobby J.
Player responsibility. They're responsible for every action now, and whether they're going 100 miles an hour or not, players are more under the spotlight than ever before.
They're more in tune with what to do.
Yep.
As Sam Murray gets around one, finds a little bit of space, kicks to half forward Curtis, come over the top to try and mark it in front of Boyd. Capillari, hand pass as he was getting tackled. A lot of players around the footy happy to see a stoppage out on the far side, tied up against the boundary, the Norm-in side of the WJ Finlay. About 60 metres out from the Wang Rovers goal, who have kicked 4 goals to 1 in this second quarter. 5 goals to 1. They lead by 30 points after leading by 6 at quarter time. We have another boundary throw in. What do you got for us, Winky? 40-wing stat sheet.
Well, Sam Murray and Sam Catapan have 6 disposals in this second term alone, and Charlie Thompson, he's up to the 7 in this second term.
Half-time show for Maccas on the other side of this as we break down the first half in the first third. Top three clash at the WJ Finlay Oval. And we have another stoppage. In fact, it's a high free kick going to the way of the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. And the late inclusion, Calvin, giving off a hand pass and a bit of run and dash from the Saints here. Diesel Beatty went to bounce the football and it didn't come back to him. And now he's in trouble as players pile in and the umpire says, I'll have it, we'll have a ball up. No worse feeling in footy when you bounce the ball and it doesn't come back to you, Winky.
Well, just the way the Rovers are controlling the footy without actually having the footy. Like, they're just setting up the ground beautifully defensively. And then Xavier Leslie just, once that ball hit the ground, he shut down that space so quickly and forced this stoppage that we now see. They're controlling the game and controlling the flow of the game here beautifully, Rovers.
Del Bosco, ping for a throw. He was swung around in a 180 by Brody Philo. It's a free kick to the Morris medalist, who's going to play on straight away and do what Brody does best and pump it long. Rover falls down. That was Tom Boyd. A great mark by Zach Pethbridge.
Oh, well done.
Kick just held its line to Munro. The Saints stream past by hand. They're running in waves. Beatty inside 50. Oh, what a mark! Jace McQuaid. That's why he's playing for VFL. For GWS, we don't see too many intercept marks from Jace. He's more of a traditional spoiler of the footy, but that was a wonderful intercept mark, Bobby J.
Certainly was. The disappointing thing about that with Myrtleford is they were running in numbers. There was 5 or 6 players flowing down the ground, and they would have ran an extra 30 metres by hand and got that ball nice and deep instead of turning the footy over to a fantastic mark. Intercept mark at its best, and the Rovers have controlled this game beautifully.
They certainly do. They lead by 5 goals at the main break. 7-2-44 to Myrtleford, 2-2-14. They kick 5 goals to 1 in the second quarter. Stay with us, our halftime show on the other side of this. It's O&M Live on Edge FM, where you won't miss a thing.
Kia, movement that inspires.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Whatever it looks like, with GoTAFE, you've got this. Get real skills for real jobs and careers right now. Search GoTAFE today.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Inspired, how about that? How about that? This time.
Welcome to Sundancer Homes. We make building your dream home exciting and stress-free. Backed by over 30 years of experience, one of many reasons why we provide a lifetime structural guarantee. Visit our information centre at Dean Street, Albury.
I reckon I'll go mid. Carlton Dry 3.5. Embrace the mid.
Every day we look after our family first. We go on adventures, we entertain with them, we care for them. Tobin Brothers Funerals will look after your family too. With a fixed price funeral plan, you can be assured your family won't be burdened by the cost of your funeral. Tobin Brothers are a trusted name since 1934 and take pride in creating funeral solutions. Tobin Brothers Funerals, Wodonga and Corowa, celebrating lives.
There's
With Optus Home Internet, you get more yes. Whoa. Which means less family screen time and more harmony with powerful Wi-Fi. Woo! Get the Ultra Wi-Fi modem at no extra cost.
Live on Edge FM.
Half time here at the WJ Finlay Oval, and it's a big lead to the Wangaratta Rovers in the first-third clash we've been waiting for all week. The Rovers up against the Myrtleford Alpine Saints, and the Rovers lead by 5 straight goals. 7-2-44 to Myrtleford, 2-2-14. Greasy conditions. We've had a little bit of everything in terms of conditions, but we've had a very good display of football by the Wangaratta Rovers, who lead by 5 goals. Bobby J and David Wink.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right, Pam. They kicked the 5 goals to 1 in that second quarter and really flexed their muscles, particularly around the stoppages. And I said it a few times in that second quarter. They controlled the game without actually having the footy in their hand. And what I mean by that is they really cornered Myrtleford off to a certain part of the ground where they can only go in one particular spot, and that's where they outnumbered them, 2 or 3 to 1, and really controlled the footy once the ball hit the ground. And it was in a contested state.
Give us some of our Aubrey Vital Air quarters best, if you can, there, Winky, there in the second quarter.
I think Charlie Thompson was probably the best.
Oh, no.
I've done it, Robbie.
No.
Turn yourself on, my friend.
I've done that a handful of times this year.
Well, we call it the Winky now.
We call it the Winky.
Charlie Thompson was the best player, I think, for the Wangaratta Rovers in that quarter. And then for Myrtleford, there really wasn't anyone jumping off the park. They got beaten pretty convincingly across the board in that second term.
What do you think will be the main message for Funky Miller, Bob? Because it seems to me like they're probably, apart from maybe the last 5 or so minutes of that second quarter, just seem to be breaking down a little bit. The Rovers have a really good full ground press on. A couple of times we've looked up and we've seen they've had 1-2 behind the football, whether it's Damon, the resting ruckman, Charles Ledger. They've just owned the territory and they've owned the game.
I'd really find a way to get Simon Curtis and Kai Goss more involved in the game. I know I was just watching Simon, particularly late in that second quarter, just watching him try to get an impact, try to get the 2-on-1 to get the footy in his hand, and I feel as though that's the missing piece for them. Once they get the ball in their hand, they're the quarterback. They're the quarterback for this Myrtleford Saints side, and because they haven't getting as much footy in the right spots, they're not coming through the middle of the ground. And we saw that last passage play just before the siren, and you called it, running in waves. There was 5 or 6 Myrtleford guys lining up to run the footy in numbers, and that's what they've been missing. That's what they did so well last week and the week before. They owned that middle part of the ground, and they found a way to get into the middle part of the ground and open up that space and give themselves opportunity pushing forward. So I feel as though that's somewhere that they can improve on at halftime with Funky Miller, and he'll be saying, right, let's find a way to manufacture Kai and Simon some space.
What's the stat sheet telling you, Winky? Why do the Rovers have a 5-goal advantage, and why have they played such good football at this point in the game?
Well, they've gone inside 50 29 times to 13 for one. That, you're getting the ball inside your forward half and control the territory. You're going to hit the scoreboard one, but the other team's not going to score because you've held it in your half of the ground. So that's probably the main one. The intercept marks for me, 11 to Wangaratta. That's their average for the year. They've got it at half time.
Wow.
So, like Bob, just to piggyback off what you just said, they're sitting up behind the ball really, really well and just reading the play so much better. 2 marks inside 50 to Myrtleford. That's not their game. They normally chip, and they're number 1 in the competition in that stat with nearly 15 per game. They've got 2 at half time. So the Rovers defense, while they're going forward and they're winning the ball, not just from a a contest perspective through the midfield, the defence is setting up so well and really halting the way the Myrtleford Alpine Saints want to play.
We haven't seen the Saints at all get out into open space or use their kick mark game at all, Bobby J. So whether it's a combination of they're off, but the Rovers have gone to work on it as well.
We underestimate Sam Murray as a coach.
We don't underestimate him at all. We don't.
I think we do.
We talk about him, how good of a player he is, but I've had conversations with Kyle Raven and all the coaching staff at the Rovers who say he's smart as a coach. Is you're right, underrated a little bit.
Because he's so good, like what you just said, because he's so good as a player, we don't give him the credit as a coach. We go, they've just given him the coach because he's such a good player. Which out in the district comp, sometimes the best player they just give him the coaching title. But he, as a genuine coach, he's outstanding.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. And sorry to jump down your throat there, a little bit premature, but I love an opportunity to have a crack. But you've covered that up well. But you're dead right. Yeah, he's probably best on ground at the moment. His disposals and what he's doing, and he leads from the front. And we looked at him. He ran past us in the pre-match panda, didn't we? And he looked like he was lame with the tape up. And
he had heavy knee strap, didn't he? Left knee.
And he just, once he crossed that white line, he's... you'd love him in your corner, and he's really led by the front. But you're right, though. The game plan that they've got in place is like a game of a really high-tech game of chess where they've just cornered off one part of the ground, and they've done it so well. And they've taken away Myrtleford's strength, by purely doing that. He's been on his game today as a coach.
Certainly has been, and it's been a game that the Rovers have owned, and I feel like they're winning the big boy battle as well. Yep. Damon's been really good in the ruck. Christie, Boyd and Cooper have all hit the scoreboard as well, forward of the football, whereas, as I said, when the Myrtleford Alpine Saints have gone inside 50, and albeit it's only been the 13 times, Winky, just seems to be breaking down as well.
Sloppy, doesn't it? Yeah.
Once they cross halfway, they seem to be too high up for me. So when they get the ball and they run and carry, they look up and there's no options there. So they need to stretch that ground a little bit, get further back. But is that the Rovers' defence rolling up and setting up the wall? So they have to go with them and not allow that. But at the moment, the Rovers have been pretty clinical.
I feel like they're winning the midfield battle too, the Wangaratta Rovers. Sam Murray, Charlie Thompson have really got to work. And you look at even Brodie Philo, you look at all the big games that the Rovers have played in, whether it's against North Albury in the early part of the season and the middle part of the year, Lavington twice, and also the Wang Magpies. Those players have got to work in the big games, and I feel like they're owning the midfield battle, whereas Matty Munro, I reckon, has been really good for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints, but outside of him, I even feel like Jackson East probably hasn't been at his best, and we've hardly really cited Calogero as well, Winky.
No. Yeah, well, Jackson East has had the 9 disposals. Capillari had 7 in the first quarter, but only the 3 in the second. Whereas, the Wang Rovers, Murray's had 14, Charlie Thompson's had 12, Catapan and O'Brien have had 10, Follows had 11. And, Murray and Charlie Thompson have both hit the scoreboard too. So they're really getting on top in the midfield battle, I feel, the Wang Rovers.
Well, I think Thompson and East went toe-to-toe for the majority of that first quarter and probably a little bit in that second quarter. And Thompson he's got so many years. Like he when he's challenged, and I'm not saying he got challenged today, but the last time I saw him play here, he was challenged at quarter time, and he come out and responded. I had him competition, and it's been fascinating to watch. And as the Myrtleford Saints run out there, I don't know whether I can see Jackson East in amongst that group there. Panda, can you help me? I don't think.
Nope.
He's
or Jake Sharp.
Or Jake Sharp. So that's a concern for the Myrtleford Saints there right now. So they can't afford to be 2-man down. It's particularly those two guys who are very, very important to their setups.
Of course, both had a pretty heavy clash and come from the ground with claret streaming from the head. So hopefully they're both all right.
The Saints are also out very early. So we're just going to push on for another minute or so with our halftime break, because this is the earliest I have sent a side out.
You say that every week,
No,
don't we?
I'm telling you, this is the earliest. North Albury came out very early once this year, but this probably takes the cake. Around the grounds for Evolution Roofing, North Albury 6-3-39 over Coro at 2-6-18. Lavington 4-4-28 over Yarrawonga 4-2-26. Wangaratta 9-7-61 over the Raiders 2-2-14. And Wodonga 5-10-40 leading Albury 6 straight 36. In the A-grade netball, it was a win to North Albury over Corowa in the top of the table clash in the A-grade netball. I'll tell you what, that competition is unreal. North Albury 40 over Corowa 38. Yarrawonga 49 over Lavington 36. The Raiders 57 over the Wang Magpies 38. We might take a break here. A half-time show for Maccas over the third quarter. On the other side of this, the Saints are out very early, boys. O&M Live, where you won't miss a thing.
Kia, movement that inspires.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Whatever it looks like, with GoTAFE, you've got this. Get real skills for real jobs and careers right now. Search GoTAFE today.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Shawty get inspired, how about that? How about that? This time.
Welcome to Sundancer Homes. We make building your dream home exciting and stress-free. Backed by over 30 years of experience, one of many reasons why we provide a lifetime structural guarantee. Visit our information centre at Dean Street, Albury.
I reckon I'll go mid. Carlton Dry 3.5. Embrace the mid.
Every day we look after our family first. We go on adventures, we entertain with them, we care for them. Tobin Brothers Funerals will look after your family too. With a fixed price funeral plan, you can be assured your family won't be burdened by the cost of your funeral. Tobin Brothers are a trusted name since 1934 and take pride in creating funeral solutions. Tobin Brothers Funerals, Wodonga and Corowa, celebrating lives.
With Optus Home Internet, you get more yes. Whoa. Which means less family screen time and more harmony with powerful Wi-Fi. Woo. Get the Ultra Wi-Fi modem at no extra cost.
O&M Live on Edge FM.
Third quarter about to get underway. The Saints and the Rovers are both broken from their huddles and heading to their positions. I tell you what, clouds have disappeared. The sun is shining. It is a beautiful looking WJ Finlay Oval and all ahead of the Myrtleford Alpine Saints, who trail 7-2-44 to 2-2-14, a 5-goal advantage to the Wangaratta Rovers as the third quarter is about to get underway for Albury-Wodonga MG. Blake Pandaresca with you for the Northo Hotel today. Get down to the Northo. Also Bobby Jackson for Cora Tiles, Cora Better Electrical, and David Wink for 40 Winks. Looks like both Jake Sharp and Jackson East have just emerged nice and late from the change rooms. Jake Sharp, I believe, has a change of number.
63.
Yep.
So that is heavy.
That's heavy.
Yep. So Jake Sharp and Jackson East were both involved about 3 minutes before halftime in a very heavy collision, and they didn't actually run out with the side to start the third quarter, and we thought they may be out of the game. Also, Ed Damon ran out with the players, came to the bench, looked really sore, but now he's taking his position in the middle of the ground. So we are underway here in the third quarter for Albury-Wodonga MG. Riley Sharp looks like he's gone in the ruck for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints as well, which is a different look. And we have a stoppage at half forward here for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. Riley Sharp in the ruck, Bobby J.
Yeah, well, they got to throw. They might be just throwing the magnets around and get a better look at, moving forward. And there's no harm in that. He's a big boy; he can handle himself there.
Deep in defence here for the Rovers. Murray trying to hand pass to Catapan. Went about a metre. The Saints pounce on a loose football. Catapan favours his left boot. Down the line. Sharp. There he is. Floating in and taking an intercept mark right between the two benches.
And he's a baller as well, mate. Like, he knows how to play footy. So, and it also might be a smack for the other two. So this is, might work in their favour three ways.
Horrigan in his own defensive half. Good kick. Finds a pocket of space. Capillari. How many for him, Winky?
This will be number 11.
7 in the first quarter. Only had a few in the second. He's been called to play on. As you can hear in our effects, Mike. He's going to pump it long on that trusty left foot. Riley Smith got 2 hands to the football. Rovers defence do well to bring it to ground. Riccardi brought down in a tackle. And a ball up. Umpire Ash Broughton says, give it to me.
I'm just looking down the bench there, Panda, and Jackson East looks like he's stretched up, ready to come back on. He's got his head taped up. It looks like he's got his head taped up like an ankle. So he's a bit of tape on that head by the looks of it.
Charlie Thompson shovels a hand pass to no one in particular, and in the end they run out of space to the players, and the boundary umpire will throw it back in, Bobby J.
Yeah, certainly will. Myrtleford would like this start. The ball's in their half, which is a pleasant change from the first half, where the ball majority lived in their defensive 50.
Just reminding, when Jake Sharp runs onto the ground in number 63, don't be surprised. He has a change of number from 2 to 63. Thompson finds space when there isn't much I should say. Back to Allison. Left foot kick carefully down the line. That'll make you run, Ed.
Yeah,
he looks a tiny little bit proppy, doesn't he, Bobby?
Yeah, there's something not quite right there. I think it might be, being a ruckman, it could quite easily just be a corky as well, so he might just have to run that out. But we'll keep an eye on that throughout the day. He's got 3 big boys to deal with for the rest of the day now. He
had to stretch for the football, wasn't able to, and the boundary line wins out. And Riley Sharp won that tap in easy. First time he's ever rucked, I reckon, Riley. Riccardi overran the football. Bren down there. Free kick for a hold. Going away of the Saints. It's against Shag and Olin.
He played that well there, didn't he?
And it's going to go to Lockie Miotto.
Didn't quite take possession of the footy and just waited for, I think it was Shagger, to grab the jumper and then put his hands in the air to accentuate that he didn't have the footy and play that pretty well.
Lockie Miotto, does he have the distance? He doesn't, because he's going to go out really wide and retreat a few metres to Kai Agosta, who's got a big booming right foot into the pocket. Riccardi camped in front. Wasn't able to mark. It was a great fist over the top from Jace McQuaid in a nick of time.
Kick was beautiful, though, wasn't it?
From one of the best in the business, Agosta, and we have a ball up 20 metres directly in front of Myrtleford goal. Big Toby Cossa onto Murphy Dale. Faked right foot, kicks a beauty. He was going to kick the first time, saw it was about to get smothered, faked and jammed it on the boot, and the Saints get the all-important first goal from a stoppage from Lockie Murphy-Dale in the third quarter. 20 plays 44 for Peter Bowen Holmes.
Yeah, very much needed the first goal of the third quarter at Myrtleford Saints, and he's a barometer, isn't he, Lockie Murphy-Dale? He's a real important player from that forward 50, and he can provide some real energy, and I reckon he's the type of player they need, 6 or 7 real influential touches in that forward 50, and he can put some real scoreboard pressure on the Wang Rovers.
He's the hardest player in the comp to match up on, I think. I think he's agile, and agility and speed as well as his marking power makes him so hard to match up on. He missed a fair bit of footy this year, so it's good to see him back out there and influencing the games.
People forget that he went to Mansfield as an out-and-out genuine midfielder and had 25 disposals regularly in the Goulburn Valley kicking goals. So that's a lever they can also pull.
Before that, he won the Doug Strength.
Yep, exactly right. He can play at both ends of the ground. McCarthy's kick lands its way at half forward. Curtis trudging after the football. Murray kicked it to himself and then don't argue Beatty. Found a hand pass. All this happening right on centre wing. Munro just went without the football. Harrington's hat kick is going to be intercepted by Parnell on centre wing. Sun shining beautifully here at the WJ. Goes short with a 45 to McCarthy. Alex, who can go to Lockie O'Brien. Straight down the height, it literally does. Goes by hand to Allison. Good run play here from the Rovers. Careful kick into the pocket. Oh, brought down was Nathan Cooper. It was a beautiful kick. Horrigan just giving away a little bit of size. Pulled him down, and Nathan Cooper will line up for his second. 50-degree angle, 45 out.
Just clever through the midfield there, through the centre of the ground there. Slight change of angle, slight, change of hand, I suppose. Xavier Leslie just... Xavier Allison just put himself in a perfect position, and him forward of the centre circle is dangerous on any given day, and a little bit of space for Nathan Cooper, and he hit him on the chest.
So Nathan Cooper, who kicked one with a little toe poke from the goal square. Kick on the way is a beauty. Look at that for an answer back. Straight through the middle from the Team of the Year fullback. That's his 31st goal of the season. That's his second today, and the margin is back out to 5 straight goals.
Been massive for my fantasy team too. Panda has big coops all year. He's a dangerous option out forward, and you just see he's so big that when Hurrigan's trying to defend him, he did everything right, Lockie, but he's just too big, so he dragged him down the last second. But that ball movement from the Wang Rovers is exceptional, Bob, where Parnell's got it across half-back and then just a ball movement inside to get Xavier Allison and Alex McCarthy involved there with the 1-2 and just a beautiful kick inside 50.
He's really important, Allison, for their setup across half-back, isn't he? He's almost the Wang Rovers' quarterback.
Ball up. Riley Sharp still doing the ruck work here as Riley Smith rests forward and Toby Cossa's in the goal square.
I don't mind it, Panda. You said he's never rucked before. He's 200 centimetres. He's got to have rucked at some point in his life.
I've watched a lot of Myrtleford in the last 4 or 5 years, and I have not seen him in the ruck at all. Maybe a few inside forward 50 here or there, but never attending a centre bounce as East left foot kick to half forward's been intercepted by the Rovers defence, who are working brilliantly all day. Ledger goes short to Tommy Boyd, playing in attack today. Getting a lot of instruction out there, as you can hear through our effects, Mike. He hugs the boundary line, kicks to a one-on-one. That man Cooper up against Horrigan. Murray pushes Beatty over the football, out of bounds.
No, he gets the free kick for the push.
He does. Bobby Jackson for Corowa Tiles.
Just the last couple of centre bounces, Simon Curtis has floated through the middle, and also Lockie Murphy-Dale's floated through the middle for Myrtleford. So they're getting some different looks through there.
The kick towards Sharp wasn't a good one. Calogero brought down in a tackle, wanted a free kick for a high. Umpire said no. Umpires Ash Broughton. We've got Dylan Sidebottom and Brenton Swanpool. A free kick here. A whistle. No free kick. Just a random whistle from Ash Broughton. That one's a high free kick. Nope. Umpire letting it go. Good on you, Ash.
Ash is the best in the business.
He is. Balls it back up on the far wing. Riley Sharp fighting hard at ground level. Calogero finding some space onto Jackson East. Left foot kick. Sails out of bounds on the full, though. Wasn't a good option forward for big Riley Smith, and the Rovers have a free kick at half back.
And Jake Sharp's back down the ground too, Penny. Just rolled back on in that massive number 63.
It's good to see them both back out there.
Jackson East is out as well.
Both involved in a very heavy collision in the second quarter, both with Claret. We thought they may have been out of the game because they didn't come out with the main side at halftime. As the kick sails down the line, and we have a boundary throw in. Right on centre wing to the left of the scoreboard, which reads 50-20. Rovers up by 5 goals. We've played 8 minutes for Macca's third quarter for Albury-Wodonga MG. Riley Smith fighting hard in the ruck. Picked up by Philo. Hacks it forward. Bounces in front of Schulte. Calvin does well. Tackled high. The late inclusion, Calvin. Goes quickly straight away. Could have went to Del Bosco. Kai Goster said, Mitch, leave it for me because I'm a beautiful kick He turns it over on that occasion.
Panda,
Mozzed him big time.
What did you do, Panda?
Went to Capillari. Delzotto read it beautifully. On to Catapan. Loops it over the top to the hard-running Allison. Left foot kick in a hurry into the pocket. Over Calvin's head. Cooper's going to kick 3. Right place, right time from Nathan Cooper. Picked the ball up at ground level. Just saw the goals, and it sailed through for his third. 56 plays 20. 6-goal lead to the Rovers.
Yeah, Xavier Allison floating forward again. Yeah, ever since I've called him the wrong name, he's got plenty of the footy and he's working hard forward to the centre circle, and he's really influential when he puts that ball inside forward 50. And Nathan Cooper's been the recipient of the last couple, and I'd love to be leading the goal scorer whenever Xavier Allison's got the footy. That's for sure.
You've called him Xavier Leslie a few times, and that's not an insult, Bob, because he was a hell of a player himself. But Xavier Allison, he's one of the best halfbacks in the comp, and probably slides under the radar a little bit because of how many other stars the Rovers do have.
That's 3 goals in a row. The last 3 Rovers goals have been off the boot of Nathan Cooper. All of them have just been opportunistic as well. So they open up a 36-point lead here, the Brown and Gold, flexing their muscles, and this is what they do in the big games. They just show everyone who's boss as the Saints run out of room on the far side, and we have a boundary throw-in next to the scoreboard. We'll go around the grounds for Evolution Roofing, potentially Winky when we can, and just find out what the closest game is in round 17, the second last round in the Ovens and Murray. Boundary throw-in. It's kicked out of mid-air by Ed Damon. Dribbles slowly to half forward. Cooper over this football. Tackled by Horrigan. Will have a ball up right on the paint of 50.
Extraordinary scoreline at Martin Park. The Bulldogs 6 goals, 11 of 47. Trail Albury 9 goals straight, 54.
Talk about good kicking on cue. Brody Philo with a high up and under. Christie bullies his opponent. Coming through hard there was O'Brien. Wasn't able to get on the end of the Sharon, and we'll have a ball up 15 out from Rover goal.
Another close one. North Albury 41 lead, Cora Rutherglen 31 at Bun Park.
A ball up. Christie and Riley Smith both wrestle. Agosta just threw it to his teammate. As you heard Bobby go, ooh. Delzotto snaps towards goal. It gets out the back, and it dribbles through for a behind.
They're just really strangling Myrtleford whenever they've got the footy, Rovers, and that's a credit to the defensive mechanisms. And I'm just watching them as they set their ground up now with a full ground press or zone, and the communication between each and every player in this setup is very impressive, and it's almost strangling the life out of Myrtleford's ball movement.
57 plays 20, a 37-point lead to the Rovers, and Simon Curtis's kick has been intercepted by Tom Boyd. 55 out from goal. The Rovers players flood back inside 50, so he retreats to Allison. He's called to play on. Kick into the pocket looking for Christie, who was caught out the back. Brought it to ground. O'Brien got his head ripped off. And it's a free kick for a high to Lockie O'Brien against Calvin. Right side for a left footer. He'll kick this on the boundary line. 35 metres out. And can't help but think Lockie has the skill and class to kick this, Bobby J.
Yeah, nice little hook he's got for a left footer, and his natural ball path. This should just inside the left-hand goal post.
He's tied up against the boundary. He arcs around on the left, kicks towards goal, and he's hooked it for a minor score margin out to 38. 58 plays 20 for Peter Bowen Holmes. We've played 12 minutes for Maccas. David Wink.
The inside 50 count 3 to 4 in this third term. So the Myrtleford Saints are getting the ball inside their half of the ground, but Rovers still managing to control it.
Yeah, Simon Curtis kicked the last footy in after the last score from Rovers and found it difficult to get through the Wangaratta Rovers press. So he's up against it again. So I'll be interested to see how it goes here.
This time it's a good kick to Kai Agosta. 2 good kicks combining here. He's going to link up by hand to Horrigan, who has the overlap hand pass to Calagero. He can go by hand again to Munro. They've worked this out all right. His hand pass, though, put Miotto under pressure, who was tackled by Nolan. Lots of overhand passing here, and Horrigan just jams it on the boot. Hurriedly, Maraca was the meat in the sandwich. Falls to Brent, who torpedo punts it inside 50 to the only man. Sharp. Had to be a free kick for a hold. He had his one arm pinged. Umpire says no free kick. They win a free kick anyway for holding the ball. A great tackle inside forward 50 from Josh Maraca. And he will line up 45 out, 45-degree angle. in the end, I feel like justice is deserved, Bobby J.
Exactly right. And just before in this passage of play, there's enormous pressure for Wang Rovers, and they weathered the storm beautifully, Myrtleford, and got the ball outside that pressure zone into their own little area where they had numbers, and therefore, they've got this position now with the footy in the hand.
So Josh Myrtleford, this simply has to go through. Margin is 38 points. Kick on the way is across the face. Never looked like it. And it's through for a behind. 21 plays 58, 37-point margin for Peter Bowen-Holmes at the 14th minute mark for Maccas.
I'll just extend on that. They've got to get confidence out of knowing that they can weather the storm that Rovers are putting on them pressure-wise. And if they get the ball out the other side, they can get some free space and play the game on their terms, which they did, and got the ball inside 50 and created some pressure. And as you said, Peter, they probably should have had a couple of free kicks there, but they didn't get a shot on goal. So they've got to get confidence out of being able to weather the storm.
So the Rovers have it at half-back from the kick-in. It's in the hands of Tom Boyd. He's going to go back inside D50. It's with Justin Lewis. Missed a little bit of footy in the middle of the year. His kick is ordinary. It's out of bounds on the full. And Kai Augusta will be the man to bring the footy back in for the Saints. And if there's one man you want the sharing in the hands of, it's Kai. He goes short and laterally to Mitch Del Bosco. He goes short again to Munro, who presents. That has to be 50. Well, must have been called to play on because Dylan Wilson came from nowhere.
Might not have been 15.
Yeah, potentially. Curtis just slams it on the boot. Damon got himself in the hole. And the Rovers through Murray are going to march this out to the broadcast side. Kick, looking for his teammate here.
Oh, he's done a hemi.
And he's done a hamstring. It's Dylan Wilson, who was running down the wing. In fact, it's Stewie Booth, who was running down the wing in a paddock and just stopped in his traps and has done a hamstring or a calf. You hate seeing that, Bobby J, for Coral Tiles.
He was out too.
Yep.
He's done so much hard work to get back into this side, and for that to happen when he had the whole field to himself and the stage was his. He was out in the open to the clear. We'll just keep an eye on that and see if I can see something happening down there.
Calogero swoops on the footy, hand passes to Beatty, who goes inside forward 50, not to the advantage of Riley Sharp. Jace McQuaid marks for the Wang Rovers. And I have to say, I think he's the number one defender in this competition now, Jace McQuaid. As a genuine lockdown defender, that's why he is playing VFL football for GWS Winky. He's a star.
He's been in the best every game he's played for them too, Panda, and somehow got dropped today. So that's interesting.
Well, they are playing Jesse Hart. And
who's the star himself.
Yep, a couple of Lavy boys and Alex Swinnerton as well, which is good to see. As soon as Gussie gave him a bake, they've just started playing these few O&M boys.
I'm hoping Jesse's back next week. He is part of my fantasy team.
58
in the grand final.
Plays 21. The Rovers up for Peter Bowen-Holmes, doing it easy in this third quarter for Albury Wodonga MG. We've played 16 minutes for Maccas. They're just chipping it and holding possession of the football here, the Wang Rovers. They're in their own defensive half. They've switched it a few times, and now Ledger has the footy. He goes short to Del Zotto. Possession footy here, Bobby J.
If Jace McQuaid's Batman, Charlie Ledger's Robin, those two guys are performing a nice little duo in that back 50 for Wang Rovers. They're rock steady down there. Great foundations to build a defensive unit out of.
So the Rovers have not let the football hit the ground in about 2 minutes. They're still chipping it around. Dylan Stone switches to Allison, and here's the dash and run from Xavier, who marches through the middle of the WJ Finlay in the pocket. Cooper was brought to ground by the Myrtleford Alpine Saints defence. Maraca, gang tackled, caught by the shorts from Cooper, and he's brought to ground, and the umpire says, I'll have it. A ball up 55 out from the Rovers' goal.
That was ragdolling at its best. He's a big unit, Nathan Cooper. I'd hate to be tackled by him.
Ball up, again, in the same position as Damon has grabbed. We might go around the grounds if we can, Winky, for Evolution Roof here. Closest game for us if we can.
Well, it's still that Albury Wodonga one, 54-47, the Albury Tigers lead. And then the other one, Lavington 46-26 versus Yarrawonga. North Albury 41-31 over the Corowaroos.
Ball up, Myrtleford. Little quick kick down the line. It's been intercepted by Del Zotto, who comes back with pace. His kick, though, is wide. It sails out of bounds on the full. And we'll have a free kick to the Saints. deep in defence, who once again have been doing a lot of defending in this third quarter, Bobby J, for Orbidonga MG.
They have. They certainly haven't had any of their own footy on their own terms today, and they'll be frustrating them enormously. They just can't quite seem to get the ball in the right areas to be damaging going forward. It seems like they've just been hemmed into this back 50.
Rovers again at half forward, almost win the football back. East under pressure, has to kick in a hurry. Down the line, McQuaid playing in front of his man Maracca. And we have another stoppage in between wing and half forward.
One thing that stood out for me today is the ferocity and the energy that the Rovers are playing with. It's almost said, rightio, finals around the corner, let's get fair income, let's really lift our energy, lift our work rate, and really start playing with some real purpose.
Smith trying to burrow his way through a couple of tackles. Riccardi, who's been quiet, goes by hand to Calogero. Left foot kick down the wing, over the head of a couple of players. One of those was McQuaid. Parnell chasing after the Sharon. Wanted a free kick for a hole, but the umpire said play on. East, clever hand pass over his head to Sharp, who dropped the football. Miotto tackled McCarthy. Lots of players around the footy, and we have another stoppage out on the far side. This time, about 80 around from Myrtleford goal.
It's one of those games where the momentum swung Myrtleford's way a little bit, but the Rovers have just put a fork in the road and have wrestled it right back after the first couple of minutes in the third term.
Sharp left foot kick inside 50. Murphydale went off the ground. Dalzotto was there to kick it back out of defence. Sharp brought down Thompson when he was the man in front. Chopped the arms, and Charlie has a free kick. Goes short to Philo, who's called to play on. He hurriedly gets rid of the football. Goes higher than it does further. Allison almost marked it. Kicked off the ground by the Rovers. Cooper dropped what he should have taken. Wilson just picked his player's pocket. Left foot kick to the top of the goal square. Christie wrestling against Brady Sharp. Dalzotto's down there. Snap on goal from Cooper. Through for a minor score. And the Rovers move to 9 goals, 5-59 to Myrtleford 3-3-21 on the Peterborough home scoreboard. We've played 20 minutes for Maccas.
Just relentless attack on the footy, or the man with the footy, Rovers. That's been impressing me today, particularly this third quarter. They come out after half time and said, right, let's put the foot down and really put a bit of space between us and the opposition and put this beyond doubt by three-quarter time. And they're ticking every box for me.
Around the grounds for Evolution Roofing, Albury 60 to Wodonga 55, North Albury 61 to Corowa 33, and Lavington doing it easy over Yarrawonga. The kick-in was a beauty from Curtis to find Calogero on the paint of the square. Defensive half of the ground. Short kick to Brent. And here's the spread from the Saints. He has to go quick straight away to Riley Smith, who's got front posse. He was pushed off the footy by Dalzotto. The Rovers win it back on the wing. Clever little tap from Dalzotto to the spare man Stone. Inboard hand pass hit the ground. Made Thompson work hard for it. Was clean at ground level. Philo and Stone. The hand pass from Philo was to no one. Beatty gives it straight back to the Rovers because he kicks it out of bounds on the full. It seems like the sides want three-quarter time, Bobby J.
Yeah, just that little passage of play. It looked like Brody felt like he was in the way there. The ball was sort of bouncing around him and he got run over a couple of times, and the body language suggested that he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time and he was getting knocked over.
We've only had 3 goals in this third quarter for Orbidonga MG. 2 to the Rovers, 1 to the Saints. 59 plays 21 for Peter Bowen Holmes. Good movement from the Saints. Riccardi through the middle of the ground. Kick, though, not great. And Jace McQuaid intercepts once again for the Wang Rovers. And as I said, usually a spoil first operator, Bobby J, but that's his 3rd or 4th intercept mark today for Corowa Tiles.
Between him and Charles Ledger today, particularly in this quarter, they've taken probably 4 or 5 uncontested marks across that half-back line and really set them up. They're outstanding and underrated. Well, probably not underrated anymore. Thanks to your commentary, Panda.
Boundary throw-in on the far side of the WJ Finlay Oval. David Wink, 40 winks.
Brody Philo lighting the stat sheet up with 5 disposals in his third term, along with Jackson East and Tom Capillari and Bowen Calogero, all with 5 for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints.
Boundary throw-in. Ball spent a lot of time on the grass in this third quarter. I have to say, the ground's in a ripping nick for a final, Bobby J.
Oh, yeah, it's getting us ready, isn't it? We had the great weather last week, and now it's bathed in sunshine, and the lines are cut beautifully, and we're ready to roll. The cricket wickets are nice and hard and ready to roll, so bring on the finals. We're only a couple of sleeps away, Panda, so we're not too far away now.
Damon with a free kick. Out on the far side, goes to half forward. Christie got rid of Brady Sharp very early in the contest. And once again, the chalk on the far side wins out. The players have run out of room. We have a boundary throw-in still at half forward for the Rovers. 59 plays 21. They've kicked 2 goals to 1, the Rovers, in this third quarter, and they lead by 38 points at the 23rd minute mark for Maccas. We'll get an update soon from David Wink on our 40-wink stat sheet. The throw-in hit Catapan on the melon. The throw-in literally hit Sam Catapan on the melon as he was running away from the football. I've never seen that before. From the boundary throw-in, Bobby J. Yeah, he had his hands over his head trying to cover himself.
And that's just the ridiculous rule that we got. You know, in years gone by, he would have been able to take that and play on, but we can't do that nowadays.
Calogero, floating old kick into the middle of the ground, and once again, the Rovers' defence set up beautifully. And Parnell intercepts for the Rovers, although there is a whistle from the non-officiating umpire, and it's a free kick to the Saints in the middle of the ground. Not sure why. No. Calogero, left foot kick looking for Murphy Dale. Asked a lot of him. Had to hand pass it to Del Bosco, who's wrapped up straight away. And that kick from Calogero was just a poor one, Bobby.
Yeah, in prime position to get that ball into a dangerous position inside 50, but chose the wider option. And, you know, now we're out in the far pocket here at WJ Finlay Oval, where the opportunity was to hit the centre, hit the hot spot, and possibly put some pressure on goal.
9 inside forward 50s to Myrtleford this quarter, yet to be able to take control of that ascendancy, though. Only the 1 goal in this third term.
Rovers on the far wing, dribble down the line, and here's a teammate in big Tom Boyd running inside forward 50. It was a careful kick back towards the corridor. Damon onto McCarthy. Philo on his left foot. Ooh. Misses. Could have probably taken a little bit more territory there. Had a bit more time. Usually Brody sinks those. Minor score 60 plays 21. Margin at 39 points now. Peterborough and Holmes. I just feel like the Myrtleford Alpine Saints probably need a miracle, Bobby J.
Yeah, I think you're right there, and the queue's not too far away from being in the rack here at 3/4 time with the margin getting close to 40 points. I think it's just making sure that we get through to next week and count our blessings so we don't lose too many players injured.
Curtis, right foot kick's a good one. Favours his teammate in Toby Cossa, who drops a chest mark on the far side. Has to go by hand to Murphy Dale. Back to Jackson East, but the siren wins out as the Saints go forward to end a third quarter that was pretty dull, if I have to say so, here on O&M Live. 2 goals to 1, and the Rovers lead by 39 points. 60-21. Stay with us. We'll break down the third term on Edge FM's O&M Live. And on O&M Live, you will not miss a thing.
Kia, movement that inspires.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Whatever it looks like, with GoTAFE, you've got this. Get real skills for real jobs and careers right now. Search GoTAFE today.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Shawty get inspired, how about that? How about that? This time.
Welcome to Sundancer Homes. We make building your dream home exciting and stress-free. Backed by over 30 years of experience, one of many reasons why we provide a lifetime structural guarantee. Visit our information centre at Dean Street, Albury.
I reckon I'll go mid. Carlton Dry 3.5. Embrace the mid.
Every day we look after our family first. We go on adventures, we entertain with them, we care for them. Tobin Brothers Funerals will look after your family too. With a fixed price funeral plan, you can be assured your family won't be burdened by the cost of your funeral. Tobin Brothers are a trusted name since 1934 and take pride in creating funeral solutions. Tobin Brothers Funerals, Wodonga and Corowa, celebrating lives.
With Optus Home Internet, you get more yes. Whoa. Which means less family screen time and more harmony with powerful Wi-Fi. Woo. Get the Ultra Wi-Fi modem at no extra cost.
O&M Live on Edge FM.
Sun shining beautifully here at the WJ Finlay Oval. You would have no idea unless I told you that we had some nice showers earlier today, and that's when the Rovers really clicked into gear. They led by 39 points at three-quarter time, 9-6-60 over the Myrtleford Alpine Saints, 3-3-21. Blake Panderesco with you for the Northo Hotel. Get down to the Northo tonight for a couple of Carlton Draft beauties. We've got Bobby Jackson as well for Corowa Tiles, Corowa Better Electrical, and David Wink on our 40-wink stat sheet, who's going to give us our Albury Vital Air quarters best in the third quarter, Winky.
Well, I think Jace McQuaid for the Wang Rovers was their best player by a long way. He stood tall across half-back, took 3 or 4 intercept marks and was really strong. And then for Myrtleford Alpine Saints, Bowen Caligeri, he had the 7 disposals and thought he got really involved in that game after only having 5 in the first half. So, yeah, they're the two best players for either side, Panda, in the third term.
In terms of the numbers in the third quarter, Winky, who sort of lit up the stat sheet for us?
Well, Brody Fowler, he had 6 disposals for the Wang Rovers, and then Caligero had 7 in the third term for the Saints. Tom Capillari leads the way for the Saints with 15, while Sam Murray leads the way for the Rovers with 18.
All righty. Bobby Jackson, how have you seen the third quarter of the second half so far?
Well, that was a bit of a... I'm not sure how to say it politely. A bit of a stalemate, bit of a... Apart from 3 or 4 passages of play led by my man Xavier Allison across half-back, kicking the ball deep inside 50, there wasn't too much to write home about, apart from the professionalism that Wang Rovers showed in regards to the defensive setups and structures and controlling the footy and, you know, moving the footy and moving their opposition that, while they didn't have the football, was really impressive. So outside that, there wasn't too many highlights or too many things to write home about. Just Rovers really clicking into a disciplined state of affairs and a different disciplined state of footy leading to the finals.
Might go around the grounds, if we can, for Evolution Roofing, please, Winky. Three-quarter time in the ovens of Murray.
Yeah, just leave it with me, Blake. We got a draw at Martin Park, 73 apiece. Albury will finally kicked a point. 12 goals, 1 plays Wodonga, 10 goals, 13 in that one. Wang Magpies, 11 goals, 10-76, lead the Raiders, 4 goals, 6-30. Lamington, 11 goals, 4-70, lead Yarrawonga, 4 goals, 3-27. And then North Albury, 9 goals, 7-61, lead Corowa, 4 goals, 10. So some inaccurate kicking costing some teams. And then the Albury Tigers kicked 12 goals, 1, so they've got their straight kicking boots on today.
We're about to get underway here in the fourth quarter for A1 Tyre Power. The Rovers marching towards locking up a top-of-the-table finish. And the Myrtleford Alpine Saints, well, they need a miracle, it's fair to say. They trail by 39 points here at three-quarter time. And they look like they're going to play North Albury for third spot next week. McCarthy with an outside of the foot banana across goal towards Lockie O'Brien, who has enough time to trundle after the football. Left foot kicks a nice one. Finds Sam Catapan right in front of the scoreboard, which reads 9-6-60 to 3-3-21 in favour of the brown and gold. Only lost the one game at home in the season opener this year. Kicks the ball to half forward. Allison up against the boundary. Beautiful kick to Tommy Boyd. Playing in front, sliding down low, and he will line up for his second goal, tied up against the boundary.
Again, Xavier Allison in a dangerous position, getting that ball inside 50. I reckon that's 4 or 5 forward 50 entries for Xavier, and all leading to shots on goal.
Tommy Boyd looks like he's going to run around here and do the snap across his body from about 40-odd metres. So he'll have to hit the Sharon perfectly here to get the right curl, the right distance. It's a little bit shallow, and it's through for a point. The Rovers 9-7 to Myrtleford 3-3. Margin at an even 40 points. It's been an almost day for a couple of the big forwards, even though Cooper's kicked 3, Boyd's kicked 2, Christie's only kicked the 1. They are proving to be a very big presence up forward, as Curtis's big booming kick is to no one really in particular. And the Rovers win it back with ease on the far wing. They go out wide. Christie, long way from home. Ooh. Gets around the big Horrigan, sells a bit of candy, Big Will. And then kicks a high up and under footy. Cooper caught behind. Oh, McCarthy had no right to mark the footy. Everyone flew. He stayed on the ground. Ball landed in his lap.
Accidental hero. He's been a fantastic player for the Wangaratta Rovers over this last 2 seasons. He's been a real quality player. Just produces a nice, even performance week in, week out. And he's and I've heard Sam Murray say it numerous times. He's Mr. Reliable in this footy side and played numerous roles. And he just keeps turning up. He puts his hard hat on and gets to work every week.
Alex McCarthy to make the result beyond doubt. Comes in. It's a beauty. Rovers are home. 46-point leaders over the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. They've got 10 goals. 10-7-67 to 3-3-21.
What do the Saints do here? Do they try a few different things and try and get a few different looks, or do they go into their shell, Panda, and just try and get through to next week? We know that with the way the results looking at Button Park today, that they're going to face off a top 3 spot. Do they put a few blokes on ice towards the back end of this quarter, or do they just roll out and keep?
I'm not sure, Winks, because they got Riley Sharp and Simon Curtis playing in the middle. So if they're going to be doing what you just said, they're the 2 guys that I wouldn't have in the middle. I'll be putting them on ice literally.
What this is it's just a really good reminder that the top 4 or 5 sides in this comp are all really good. And, we've been talking about the Saints last 4 or 5 weeks. And, yes, it's been very good and they've been putting sides away. But when you play a top 5 outfit and the reigning premiers on their home deck, it's a completely different proposition, Bobby J. As Catapan goes down the wing looking for Thompson. Good fist from Maracca, who's fought hard today. Horrigan on to Beatty, who finds a pocket of space and delivers beautifully inside looking for Cossa. Good fist from McQuaid. I reckon he's almost been best on ground, Jason McQuaid.
Oh, come on, mate.
Smith with a big torpedo punt outside D50. Trudging after this football is Riley Sharp. Goes by hand to Harrington. Comes in ball with a 45. Looking for Murphy Dale, who brought down an opponent high. And it's a free kick to the Rovers and Joel Smith at half back. I have to say, Bobby,
you've stolen my thunder. I was going to sneak out to Jason McQuaid and just tap him on the shoulder, because he for mine right now is leading the pack in regards to our player of the day. So thanks very much, Panda.
No worries, Bobby.
You're mozzing everybody.
You know what that tells me, Wink? Great minds think alike.
I'm not sure that's a good thing or a bad thing for both of us.
I reckon it could be more of a bad thing. Says a lot about you and I, Bobby.
You're probably right there, mate.
You guys are all right.
Thank you, Wink.
Thanks, mate. That's reassuring.
Coming from Winky. Catapan goes by hand to Allison. Floating mongrel to half forward. Could cause a bit of chaos. Augusta, and come off his toe to a teammate. Was in the right place. Curtis marking out on the far side in front of Catapan at half back. So the margin at 46. What is there to gain for the Saints here, Bobby? You don't want this to turn into a 70 or 80 pointer, because percentage becomes important, even though they are 15% in front of North Albury.
I reckon they'll be working on just getting their basics right from here on in. Going back to square one and getting the basics right.
Rovers turn it over, go inside forward 50, looking for Tom Boyd. Goes by hand to Cooper, who's going to kick 4. Nope. He's missed from the top of the goal square. Oh, dear. Nathan would like his time again. It was good pressure from the Saints, but he only had himself in the goal face, and it's through for a point. 68 plays 21 for Border Switchboards. We've played 4 minutes for Maccas.
I've got a gut feeling you're going to have to work really, really hard this quarter, Panda. That's just a gut feel I've got.
Thanks, Bobby. You blokes are switched off. Is that what it seems like to me?
No. I'm thinking the football's switched off. We'll never leave you hanging.
No, I know.
I will if I can.
You've got our support until you haven't.
Thank you, boys. Very assuring, that sounds like to me. But it seems like this game has lost all spark, and both sides are pretty happy to shake hands and blow the siren.
Yeah, I think you're right, mate.
As Riley Smith comes up to meet the football, and we have a ball up. Winky, 40 winks.
Nothing really jumping off the page so far. 4 inside 50s to Wang Rovers, but we still do have some listeners. Luke Collins still tuning in, sending me a text. So you're doing a good job, Panda.
Good on you, Lukey. Love your support. We might go around the grounds if we can. Just keep us up to date with that Wodonga-Albury game, please, David Wink. That's the tight one at Martin Park. Of course, Wodonga need to win that to mathematically stay alive.
Do they need Cora to win, though?
No, they need the Raiders to cause some sort of miracle against the Wang Magpies.
Well, that's not going to happen. But it's 79 apiece at Martin Park between Bulldogs and the Albury Tigers.
Around the grounds for Evolution Roofing. Damon with a free kick in the middle of the ground. Looks okay, Ed, after doing some mysterious stuff at three-quarter time. He ran out with the team and then wandered off to the bench before play resumed. Looked pretty sore. We thought, oh dear, Ed might be in a bit of strife here, but he looks pretty good, Bobby.
Yeah, he's a warrior. Like he's rucked one out against 3 big boppers today, so he's a warrior. He's a warrior.
Free kick for the Saints at half back. They come inboard to Capillari, and this is a part of the ground that, and the game that just hasn't worked in the Saints' advantage at all today. Kick to half forward, looking for Murphy Dale, and look at him. He's got his hands in the air, not happy with that delivery going. I've worked my ringer off inside 50, and the kick was poor.
Frustration. We turn the clock back 7 days, and they're getting it silver service. So it's a different gravy this week in the Rovers.
It's a different pressure on the ball carrier, isn't it, Bob?
Yeah, it certainly is. And even if he did take that mark, Panda, he was way out on the boundary line in a really bad position to have a shot on goal, whereas in previous weeks where they've had their own, they've been in really good spots to kick goals.
Good tackle there by big Riley Smith, who's brought down Lockie O'Brien. And the big bopper Smith will line up from 50. I have seen him kick this distance before on a 45-degree angle. Don't discredit the big ruckman here, Bobby J.
No, I never would discredit a ruckman, mate. They're my type of men.
Hence why I did throw to you there. Yeah. Do you love your ruckman, Bobby J?
Oh, I love Mr. Ed. He's a gun, and he's really shown these 3 boys a lesson today.
So Riley Smith has kicked 13 goals for the year. Will kick a drop punt. Kick on the way is okay. And it just scrapes in for a minor score. Didn't look after me there, Riley. 3-4-22 Myrtleford, just the 7 scoring shots. Plays 10-8-68. And the margin is back to 47 points for Border Switchboards. It's going to be brought back in by Sam Murray. He's had a pretty good day. He's hit the scoreboard and he's had a lot of the football. We'll get his numbers soon as the Rovers stream forward through Cooper. His kick is out really wide, looking for Lockie O'Brien, who's working hard, but that was a little bit too hard for him. We'll have a boundary throw. What are Sam Murray's numbers, David Wink?
Going down for 19 and a goal in the second term, Panda.
In the second term alone?
He kicked, you smart ass.
Trying just to make something out of this game, Winky, because as I said, the breath has completely gone out of the game, and both sides are pretty happy just to head up to the balcony and join that packed house up there, Bobby J, and head up there for a schooner.
It's certainly fairly crowded up there today. The supporters are getting a sniff of finals around the corner. They're getting out to get a look at their heroes before they go into another finals campaign. Augusta's kick was almost intercepted by McQuaid in the middle of the ground. Sharp hurriedly on the boot to an open 50. Down there is Sharp. Clever little toe poke to Munro, who dribbles for a goal. He was under pressure.
Great team play from the Saints. Munro had to get rid of that footy. He did. Dribbles it through for a goal, and something to cheer about for the Saints. That's their first goal since the 3rd minute of the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, Muncher was, he worked really hard from the centre of the ground there, and it was a quality finish by a quality player, and he had Shag and Nolan hanging off his back pocket, and to still finish with a major was a really good finish. And Matty's he had a head knock early on in the game and had to go off and get checked, and he's bounced back and been serviceable all day for the Myrtleford Saints, and he's a really important player, pushing forward.
I think only Kai Goster's probably been their best today for the Alpine Saints.
Yep, I reckon so, Winky. Here is Kai Goster, who's been thrown in the middle, which is where he actually has played a lot of his footy as a big inside midfielder, but he's played forward, he's played across half-back, he's played pretty much everywhere. Here's Harrington coming back in on his left foot, looking for Capillari, overran the football, then applied a good tackle on Thompson, who actually dispossessed the football. Miotto fakes, hand passes to Maraca. Kick was partially smothered. Murphydale ran into 2 Rovers, and he's been caught holding the ball. Good defensive pressure from the Wangaratta Rovers in Sam Murray and also Ed Damon. Sam was going to give it to Ed, said, no, I want another touch. Goes out wide. O'Brien got rid of his man very easily. Right-hand passes a beauty, looking for Dylan Wilson, who fumbles and then pushed off the football by Capillari. Wins it back for the Saints. Left foot kick is a good one to Maraca. By hand to Beatty. Gets around Dalzotto, finds his right foot, shoots it out wide to the far wing. Not a good kick. He had 2 teammates to hit, couldn't hit any. And Lockie O'Brien come and grab the football, and he was wrapped up straight away. Bobby J.
Yeah, chalk and cheese. They're disposal by foot this week, Panda, isn't it? Last week they were perfect in every aspect, and today a little bit more pressure from a quality opponent, and it's sort of been put under the microscope in a big way. So they'll address that during the week and for a big game next week against the Hoppers.
There's a free kick here to the Saints. I'm not sure. It looked dangerous, but I'm actually not sure what that free kick was for.
Shepherding or tunnelling.
Tunnel or a shepherd of some sort. It's a free kick to Augusta. He's going to play on and kick it into the corridor, looking for Riley Smith, and Charles Ledger's hanging off him. Declan Bren plays on with an advantage and kicks a goal. So they've taken the advantage. It was a free kick to Smith. Bren picked it up and shot it towards the sticks, and it sailed through for a goal. Margin back to 34 points. 34 plays 68. The Saints have kicked the last 2.
So maybe a positive out of today, Panda and Winky, is shortening that margin from a 30-point margin back to whether it's a 24 or a 20-point margin at the end of the day to save a little bit of face. Is that something that they can take away from it, or is it just a peripheral a look at it?
I don't think Funky Mill would be too happy with how they played today.
No.
I haven't been allowed to play that well. And that's the difference between your Rovers and your Wodongas and your Corowas, is that the Rovers will allow you to play as good as they want you to. And they're a very, very good outfit. And we keep talking about how open it is this year, but there's a team sitting on top of the ladder who haven't done much wrong. And in the games they've lost, they've been pretty good outside of the one game against Myrtleford in the wet. And I'll give them a mulligan for that. Munro sails it towards 50 as Parnell's brought down without the football. And just going back on that, Bobby, the Rovers we have been saying are the team to beat, but do we think they're a 5-6 goal better side than everybody else in this comp?
Geez, you put me on the spot there, but I can't help but not say yes.
No, they're not a 5-goal better side than North Albury.
They've beaten them,
fully strength North Albury.
Beaten them comfortably both times.
Yeah, I don't know if they've been full strength both times.
Yeah.
Riley Smith. In fact, it's big Toby Cossa with a free kick outside 50 to the top of the goal square. Roving this football is Harrington, brought down straight away by Catapan as he was about to snap it on goal. Once again, great defensive acts and pressure from the Rovers.
That's what's been the big thing that's impressed me is how the pressure the Rovers have put on Myrtleford when they have the ball.
68 plays 34-point lead. Saints kick the last 2 for Peter Bowen Holmes. Porter switchboards and tyre power in this last quarter. Riccardi tackled simultaneously as he grabbed the footy from Noah Schulte.
Well, that was actually Noah Schulte that caused the last stoppage as well, Panda. So that's one of your youngest players performing acts like that. That's what Sammy Murray be looking for his whole list is from youngest to oldest, best to
Sam Murray ripped Augusta's head off. As Kai Augusta was trying to cleverly tap it to himself and run onto the football. Murray just said, no, Kai, I'm going to clothesline you.
It was a clothesline with a Yeah, I'm not sure.
JBL, close on finale.
It was the old WWE JBL. Winky used to do a few of those back in the juniors. I'm telling you that right now.
How the hell do you do a clothesline, mate? You're 4 foot tall.
It didn't get right up to the neck, Bob.
It just may have gone somewhere else. Kai Augusta with a free kick. And if there's anyone who can kick this 55 without even hardly kicking the football, it's Kai. He let me down. He didn't make the distance.
He just chipped that.
He did chip it. And there's a free kick for a hold anyway. And it's going to go the way of Riley Smith, the big ruckman, who will have a shot from pretty much the top of the goal square. He's been brought around on a tight angle here. He's going to run around and snap it, Bobby. Yeah. You don't sound confident.
No.
He runs and he...
How did he miss that?
Big Riley has hit the belly of the football.
Oh, no.
And he's kicked it
that probably sums
across
up
he crossed the face.
He's actually kicked it into Norm Mins. That's how far he's kicked it.
He has butchered it, has Big Riley, unfortunately. And it's through for a point.
Poor ruckman. They get a raw deal, don't they?
35 plays 68.
Well, they're too tall for mine, Bob.
Yeah, the air's pretty thin up there, isn't it? It doesn't quite sort of... We've got to be careful what we say nowadays, don't we? We might have, we just got to be careful with the ruckman. They're big boppers. They could squash us like a bug, particularly if they get best on grounds after the...
I'm not afraid to offend anyone.
You're also 4 foot, Winky.
5 foot, Blake.
You are. You've corrected me twice today. So a minor score, 35 plays 68. We'll get an Around the Grounds Evolution Roofing update when you're ready, Winky. Wodonga Albury, the only game that really matters. It's a free kick for a trip here. It's going to go the way of Myrtleford and Declan Bren. Inside forward 50. Been quiet today, albeit he has kicked the last goal of the game. Bren goes inboard looking for number 63. That's Jake Sharp, who spins out of traffic. Hand passes to Munro. His kick was smothered. All this happening inside the Saints attacking 50. Rovers defence under pressure as Will Nolan marks from the Sam Murray kick. Around the grounds, Winky, Evolution Roofing.
91 to 81 at that one at Martin Park. 13-13, 91 to 13-3, 81. Wodonga leading.
10-point lead to the Dogs over the Tigers. The Dogs need to win if they are any chance to play finals. Beatty's kick was touched. Augusta goes by hand to Riley Smith. Goes by hand. They've worked this out all right. Left foot kick from Capillari was partially smothered. It doesn't trouble the score as it goes over the line for a boundary throw in deep in attack. 16 minutes played for Macca's fourth quarter for Border Switchboards. It is a 33-point lead to the Rovers.
Myrtleford are winning the territory game this quarter, aren't they? Really, the ball seems to be down this netball tennis court end of the ground where the Myrtleford Saints are kicking to, so this may well you see them kick a few goals before the game's out.
9 inside 50s to 4 in this last term, boys.
The Rovers have just completely switched off. They're already thinking about next week and the week off after that because they'll finish on top. And we'll have a ball up inside forward 50. So we've only had the 3 goals in this last quarter for Tyre Power. 2 to the Saints, 1 to the Rovers. It's Damon. Kick was smothered. Harrington swoops on the football. Kicks from outside 50. It's a high up and under. Murphy Dale sits under a sky footy. Munro trying to run onto the football. Dispossessed. There's a free kick here going to the Saints for a hold. And it's going to go to Mitch Del Bosco, the co-captain. He plays on straight away. Short kick to Jackson East. It was barely 15. And Jackson East will line up for his first goal today. 45 out, 45-degree angle.
He's a goal-kicking mid, isn't he, this guy? So he'll be keeping his average up. I think he's kicked 17 goals for the season. Is that right, Panda?
18.
18 goals. So he's a goal scorer.
He is. Doesn't take much time. Comes in and kicks it. Sails through. And the margin's back to 27 points. The Saints have kicked the last 3 goals, Winky, and they're making it respectable on the scoreboard.
Yeah, look, and they're showing that they can put the fight up. I think you said a little bit earlier, the Rovers look like they may have switched off a little bit. 10 inside 50s to 4. They're still cruising along nicely, the Rovers, with a good lead. But positive sign for the Alpine Saints is that they managed to make this a little bit more respectable, back to the 20-odd points now. Hopefully they can finish it off. And if they kick 2 quick ones here, who knows? It could put a bit of a scare to the Wang Rovers to finish this one off.
4 goals to 2 in the second half, Myrtleford's way, so looking for positives.
Not a great second half, though, is it, Bob?
No.
Foot's well and truly off the pedal from the reigning premiers and the ladder leaders, the Rovers. And we saw this happen in the top of the table clash against North Albury earlier in the year, Winky, around 10 or 11 from memory, where they could have blown a game out to 60, 70 points. And I think North did very similar to what the Myrtleford Saints are doing here and brought it back to that 4-5 goal margin.
Yeah, and they just, like you said, they took the foot off the pedal and just cruised to the end in that one. And just sort of once they had the job done, they sort of just put it in neutral and rolled to the end and made sure they got through unscathed. It seems to be what they're doing here. So,
Bobby, put your coach's hat on. Would you be a little bit annoyed that you've just allowed the Saints to not get back into the ball game, but not run away with a convincing victory, or are you just happy to get through and win the game and get through unscathed?
Oh, a little bit of part A, a little bit of part B. Why are they kicking the easy goals? Is it something that we structurally aren't doing right that we normally do right? Is it something that's going to cause all sorts of concerns moving forward? Yeah, it's a tough one, Panda. It's let's get through to next week, and we got Wodonga next week, so they may be in the same position next week regarding what they do.
Well, it's a question you can ask Sam Murray post-game.
I'll be asking Sam. I'll just try to word it right.
As the Rovers, through Brody Philo, are going to set fire on goal. Cooper trying to claim that he got a foot onto it, and the Saints and the umpires aren't buying it, and it is through over the line for a minor score. 69 plays 41. Border switchboards, a 28-point margin. David Wink, 40 winks.
Lockie O'Brien had the 6 disposals in this term, 18 for the game. His first game back for a couple of weeks, so they'll be happy with that.
The kick-in has been intercepted by Sam Murray. What's he had, Winky?
Sam Murray would be up to 23 with this one.
Kick into the pocket. Wasn't on the same page as his teammate Damon, and Damon has given away a free kick to Simon Curtis for in the back, deep in the right back pocket. We'll go around the grounds when we can for Evolution Roofing, as this kick is once again intercepted by Kieran Parnell. His kick poor, intercepted by Harrington. As I said, both teams just want to get into the sheds and have a frothy, I reckon. Harrington's kick straight down the middle of the WJ Finlay. Might work out right. Maraka had to get rid of it in a hurry because he was under pressure. Will it sit for a teammate in Lockie Murphy-Dale with a boundary line win out? Murphy-Dale does well. Inboard hand pass to Bren. Swings around on the right foot towards the top of the goal square. Sharp, 2 hands to it. Jackson East Roves, kicks it out on the full, but it's a free kick to Riley Sharp for a chop of the arms, and it will come back to Riley directly in front.
Yeah, this will take the margin back to 22 points. I think that flatters Myrtleford a little bit. I think Wangaratta Rovers have been a far superior side today, so that's where you're probably leading to a little bit before, Pan, of that question. I think Sam might be a bit annoyed that it isn't a 40-point margin by the end of the day, because I genuinely think that they've been a 40-point plus better side today. So he'll have some questions in regards to why that's happened.
It doesn't seem to bother them though. They're happy to take the 4 points, whether it's by 50 points or 1 point. They're just happy to bank the 4 points and move on.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting question. I'll ask him after the game how he feels about that.
Fair bit of commentary going on between Charlie Thompson and big Toby Costa in the middle of the ground as Riley Sharp comes in and kicks his second goal for the game. And as Bobby said, margin back to 22 points. 69 plays 47. So they've kicked the last 4 goals of this game, Bobby, have the Saints.
Yeah, and that's 5 out of the last, the 5 to 2 in the second half. So that's a positive, knowing that they, I'm not sure if they can take too much out of that, particularly with the sting out of the game, but to know that they can get those goals against this side. So there's something that's working through the middle of the ground to actually make that happen. So it looks like they're looking like they're going to attack off half back here, Myrtleford. They're going to throw all their eggs into one basket here by the looks of it.
So with 22 minutes played for Maccas, the margin is back to 22 points. Riley Sharp's kicked 2 goals as Dylan Stone runs down the wing. There's a fair bit happening off the ball between Del Bosco and Wilson. I'm not sure who did what there, but it was a big wrestle and they both came to ground.
Dill had him lined up and Mitchie saw him coming and dumped him fair into the ground.
And Wilson's given it back to the Myrtleford bench and supporters. It's your free kick, Dylan, on the wing. And he's going to go short to Alex McCarthy in front of the benches. And Alex McCarthy going to go long inside forward 50. Coming from behind there was Del Bosco. Got a couple of hands to it. Cooper swings it around the left foot to the top of the goal square. Christie wrestling with Brady Sharp. Bounces towards Del Bosco, who goes back to Maraca and is happy to see it through for a minor score. So 47 plays 70. It's a 23-point margin to the way of the Wang Rovers. And big Riley Smith has claimed a mark here. Or no, it's the man in front, Charles Ledger.
Big going on behind the ball, Blake.
Ash Broughton says, I'm going to ball it up, boys. What's going on behind the ball, Winky?
Nathan, was it Will Christie?
No, it's Big Ed Damon. Simon
Big
Curtis
Ed.
kicked the ball in and landed. I think it was just accidental contact, but
His head landed on Ed's shoulder.
yeah, and it didn't look good, but it wasn't Ed's fault.
No, he didn't. No malice in it.
Charlie Thompson kicks it to just inside forward 50, and Lockie Miotto, who's done all right today, intercepts for the Saints. Kicks laterally to Brady Sharp, who's got an option on the wing. It's Calagero. Inboard hand pass here to Horrigan. Right foot kick to Lockie Murphy-Dale. They've spread well here to half forward, the Saints. Has options inboard. He's going to kick it long into attack and floating forwards. Cossa. Big Toby Cossa is getting the hurry up. As the siren sounds, and Toby Cossa will have a shot after the siren to bring it back to a 17-point margin, but the Rovers have been clinical up until about the 5th minute of the last quarter, where they have completely taken their foot off the pedal, and they've gained a valuable 4 points in the first-third clash. The only question will be, will it be 22 points or will it be 17? That's not discounting the fact Toby could kick this out on the full. So Toby Cossa, 45-degree angle, 45 metres out, comes in and misses. And the margin will be 22 points. The Rovers too good, 10-10-70 over the Saints, 7-6-48. The Rovers look like they have sewn up top spot, Winky.
They certainly have, and they've been the best side all year, so probably fitting that they do finish on top, Blake. But this one here, they just put it in cruise control after three-quarter time and got the job done.
We've got an early finish here. We might cross to the Wodonga versus Albury finish. Potentially. We'll keep you updated on that as we head. What's that, Bobby?
Sorry, I'm just watching
Winky?
the Rutherglen Cats Swans game.
Yes.
Which is not going well for the Rutherglen Cats.
Because we are calling 4 games of football today here on O&M Live. Some TDFL, some O&M, a bit of everything. As we head to Bobby J, we got you down on the boundary.
Certainly have, boys. Yep.
He's going to find out Anytime Fitness Player of the Day.
I may need some help here. It's.
I tell you what, the game of Jace was very good.
I was leaning towards him. He was a bit quiet in the last quarter, but did some work early, didn't he? So I'm probably going to head that direction.
I'm happy if you give it to Jace McQuaid. He's been very good. Will be named in the Wang Rovers best, I reckon. As the Rovers song sings around over the WJ Finlay.
I'll just get him now.
Yep. He's circling. He's going to call him over.
Jace.
He's a little bit surprised, our man Jace McQuaid.
Big fella. Hey, anytime fitness player of the day, mate. It's nice to get it outside of midfielders' hands, isn't it, mate?
It is. No, I've never been close to Anytime Fitness, so I'll take that. Appreciate it.
Some real intercept marking today, which is something you've added to your game. You're a real lockdown defender in the past, but today you and Charles Ledger took some real important intercept marks across that half-back line.
Yeah, no, it's nice. And me and Charles, obviously, we try and do our role every week, which is a lockdown role, but when the opportunities come, you got to try and take the marks. But, some weeks I get it completely wrong, and I should mark when I spoil, and then it was nice to get it right for once.
We highlighted the defensive mechanisms you boys have when the opposition's got the footy. Today was really highlighted, particularly for those first 3 quarters where you really controlled the ball and controlled where Myrtleford had the footy. Is that something you've really highlighted and really want to make sure you get it right going into the finals? Yeah, Mazza spoke heaps on it every week. He said it's a crucial part of the game, especially in finals. Like, for example, the Granny last year, we had to hold the ball for a good 15 minutes and control it. So something we've definitely worked on, and we look at in the reviews every week and try and get right for the right time of the year. Congratulations, mate. Well done, and best of luck for the rest of the season. Thank you. Thanks for your attention.
Bob Jackson down there with our Anytime Fitness Player of the Day. If you can, Bobby, get a photo of Jace for our social media. Anytime Fitness Player of the Day. He has been outstanding. Look at the Rovers boys giving it to him. That's what we love. Rovers boys giving it to our man Jace, who is the Anytime Fitness Player of the Day. And Winky, I think he was probably best on ground for the first 3 quarters.
Yeah, I think he was. He died off a little bit in that last term, but his intercept marking was something that, like Bob said, probably not a thing that he's known for. He's normally a spoil and and chase the footy sort of operator, but he took 4 or 5 intercept marks today and was really influential across the back line when the game was on the line.
He certainly was. Around the grounds for Evolution Roofing, Wodonga 98 to Albury 88, holding on to a 10-point lead on 1494 2AY. That one our sister station. If Albury kick another goal, we might cross to that very, very soon. We'll head into the rooms and we'll get the song from the Wangaratta Rovers, who win by 22 points, 70 to 48 over the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. Anytime Fitness player of the day is Jace McQuay. We're just heading into the Wang Rovers rooms now.
What do you reckon Funky's saying, Panda?
I don't think he's too happy.
No, I don't reckon he would be either.
Winky?
I don't reckon he would be very happy at all with how they played and how they couldn't get the game on their terms for really any period of the game. They had a slight patch there at the start of the third after half time, but apart from that, the Rovers really controlled the game, didn't they?
So it looks like that other game's done between Wodonga and Albury, and Wodonga have won that game. So we won't cross to that one. But the Rovers too good over the Myrtleford Alpine Saints by 22 points. Stay with us, our post-game show for Harvey Norman betting on the other side of this. It's Edge FM's O&M Live. Round 17 action done and dusted. The Rovers by 22 points. And on O&M Live, you will not miss a thing.
Kia, movement that inspires.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Whatever it looks like, with GoTAFE, you've got this. Get real skills for real jobs and careers right now. Search GoTAFE today.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Shawty get inspired, how about that? How about that? This time.
Welcome to Sundancer Homes. We make building your dream home exciting and stress-free. Backed by over 30 years of experience, one of many reasons why we provide a lifetime structural guarantee. Visit our information centre at Dean Street, Albury.
I reckon I'll go mid. Carlton Dry 3.5. Embrace the mid.
Every day we look after our family first. We go on adventures, we entertain with them, we care for them. Tobin Brothers Funerals will look after your family too. With a fixed price funeral plan, you can be assured your family won't be burdened by the cost of your funeral. Tobin Brothers are a trusted name since 1934 and take pride in creating funeral solutions. Tobin Brothers Funerals, Wodonga and Corowa, celebrating lives.
With Optus Home Internet, you get more yes. Whoa. Which means less family screen time and more harmony with powerful Wi-Fi. Woo. Get the Ultra Wi-Fi modem at no extra cost.
Post-game show for Harvey Norman Betting here on O&M Live, Edge FM. Hope you're having a cracking Saturday afternoon. We had a little bit of rain here today. We had some sunshine, had a little bit of everything, and a very good win to the Wangaratta Rovers over the Myrtleford Alpine Saints, 10-10-70.